rotate. See, I have to have it this way to go live, and with the light back there, the camera automatically darkens everything. But I'm gonna leave it that way. I'm not changing it. I gotta get in there. You're on.
Oh, hi guys. I'm moving. Okay, get you around there.
Watch out for Buddy. It's right there.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Okay. We're getting put together here. Hey y'all. How you doing today?
Put this on you, cause
Kind of
somebody's
stormy
gonna ask you
outside today,
questions.
so we didn't want to
You know,
take a
like,
chance
what
of
do you
having
think of
to
the place?
run back
Okay.
in the storm,
All you
so
gotta do
we
is just
went
use
ahead
your
and set
phone.
up out here on the back porch.
That answer
On the
questions. That's
lanai.
about it.
You gotta go to,
And we have Dalton with us today. You know, we've been having a good time doing different kid stuff. And yesterday we went to chocolate camp, which was so much fun. And I seen some of the stuff that they made in there. It was one of those where I didn't stay, but I seen some of the stuff he made, and there was a bunch of kids in there, but they had a good time. And the lady that owns the place, super nice. If you ever get a chance to go over there, and today, actually Wednesday, is Gelato Wednesday. So if you go today, you get a free scoop of gelato, just to try it out. They just got that in the last couple weeks, and she was telling me they had to take the back door off to even get the freezer part in there because it's a big round thing. But we tasted some of their stuff. It's really good. Didn't you think, Dalton?
Yeah, it was really good.
Which one
Especially
did
the
you
mango.
like the best?
Probably the mango.
Mango.
Yeah.
I liked the orange. Oh, the orange was superb. It was just really strong orange taste. And she said they mix it sometimes with the vanilla to make kind of a dreamsicle taste. But oh, it was so good. I don't know how many of you tasted gelato before, but it's a little bit different than ice cream, but it's still good. I think it's fluffier, maybe.
Whoops.
Yeah, you got to turn your sound off.
I gotta find it.
Did I get it?
But
Yep.
okay, let's see who's here. Let's see. We got Jerry and Pam
You didn't have that
Secco,
on.
William,
Yeah, you do, okay, well.
Jerry Bell,
That's a description, that's not cheap.
Marcia. And then Marcia says, "Hey, Dalton."
Hey.
See your phone.
Jerry Bell
We gotta have
says,
chat.
Melanie G says, "Hi, everyone. What has been your grants?" Yes. Ricky P says, "Hi." Kevin Jacks. Sherry Hoss says, "Chocolate camp. That sounds like my kind of camp." Yeah, it was really cute, and it was organized very well. And they took them down
Chat
to,
right there, where people's asking questions.
they took them down to, it started at 11. They took them down to 2J's for lunch. And so they
That's
had a good time.
description. It tells you right there, description. You don't want description.
Yeah, and Buddy wants to get in on the action.
You're not even on the live show there.
Dalton, what was your favorite activity so far?
Probably chocolate camp. That was
Yeah,
fun.
that's what I thought, chocolate camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, because we went to pizza camp, and that was fun.
Yeah, we found out.
But it wasn't quite as fun as what the chocolate
See?
camp was. And Peterbrook
Live
Chocolate
chat.
over there in
That's
Lake
what you want, live
Sumter
chat.
is,
I'll try to look for it.
like I said, the lady's
Brian Moore.
like I said, new owner, and she, I said, just very nice lady. And I said, she made it really easy for all the kids, so.
That's just list my videos. You're not even on
There
it
we
yet.
go. I'm on it now.
Yeah, and Wrestler says you did a great restaurant review, Scooter, and it asked if you're going to take over for me.
You don't have live chat for some reason.
All right.
I don't know.
And Welter says 79 degrees here in Minnesota already.
So you're in
Wow.
description. That's not live chat.
Well, and I said, we're getting a little reprieve, I think, because of the storms going
Yeah,
through.
you don't know what you're doing.
Our temperature has come down a little bit. It's come down into the 80s where it was in the
Where is
90s.
live chat?
Rich A says it's
Subscribe.
90 in PA. And hi, Ron, how you doing? David and Gail Blade, hello from Gainesville. What was the barbecue place you all were eating this week? We were at Oakwood Fire and Grill, and on 441, and they do have an Oakwood Express over in Wildwood, but we like the original one, which is a bigger
I have
restaurant.
no idea.
The one
Guess you just
in
gotta share
Wildwood
something.
is very small.
It should just pop up.
They
on
do
each
have
video.
some seating, but not very much. But
More.
we've always liked the one
You're back to the
out on
description again.
441 in.
Maybe there's some in the
Skip loves
description
their
I'd like to
ribs. Of
press.
course, I don't eat that kind of stuff, but I did get barbecue chicken yesterday, and still everything they have is so good. I love okra, the fried okra, and that's the hillbilly in me. But it's really really good, and they have they got a lot of sides to choose from. Really, they have mac and cheese, or you could get sweet potato fries.
I have no idea.
Potato salad, coleslaw, they had quite a few sides there, so. And like I said, they got the ribs, and both of them love the ribs, so.
T-bugs, that's for nerds.
Jerry says, what's wrong with this picture? Skip giving IT help to Scooter. Yeah, but Scooter's phone's a little bit different than ours, so, it's kind of a learning curve here. Anno says, hello from blustery Richmond,
I
Indiana.
have no idea.
Remnants of Hurricane Beryl came through yesterday afternoon and evening storms. Yeah, and I heard you're going to get a little bit more today. So hang on to your hat.
I don't know.
Chocolate Camp
Try to
was at
figure it out.
Peterbrook Chocolate in Lake Sumter Landing. And nice, very, very nice. And like I said, it's not part of Camp Villages. It's just they do their own camp. Same way with the pizza camp was not part of Camp Villages. They do their own camp. So, like I said, it was hard for us to register on the Camp Villages, and it seemed like this week they didn't have a whole lot going on in his age group. So we didn't really register for any of that stuff. If we'd have known earlier when he was coming, then we could have made that choice ahead of time, but we just didn't really have the time. And so, we wanted, before he leaves, we want to do the airboat ride. And I think we're going to go to Swamp Fever, which is in, is it Lake
can
Panasoffkee
figure it
or
out.
Okamka? I forget.
Because if I press more, it just brings
What?
me to that.
The Swamp Fever. Is it
Swamp
Lake?
Fever.
Yeah, Swamp Fever airboat rides. I think it's
I
Lake
don't know what that
Panasoffkee.
is, but we went to Panasoffkee once.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
I think so. That's where they're at, anyhow. And but like I said, we've kind of been skirting these storms off and on. This is the rainy season for Florida. It rains every day, just about. And so we've been skirting storms here and there. We went over to ride the boat at Lake Sumter the other night, and it was July 4th actually, and we got caught in the storm over there. But we did go into Gators and get to try out some gator tail. Scooter wanted to try it, and I said he said the usual. It tastes like chicken, only chewier.
He didn't eat it.
Well, he did. He ate
He put it
his.
down the garbage disposal a while ago.
That
I
was
saw her
mine.
do it.
They
No,
give me
I think
the extra.
She's covering up for him. He
No.
got it, he didn't eat it, and she threw it down the drain.
He had a whole bucket full, and he ate
A bucket. They don't sell a bucket.
it. Yes,
Yeah,
it was
I
a
do.
bucket, this big a
Was it
bucket.
really?
Yeah.
Which one did you go to?
The one in Lake Sumter.
Oh, that one down here is better.
Well, like I said, we went there because we were over there to see the July 4th celebration, and it stormed, and I said, so we had to leave. But we ducked into Gators while we were waiting. We actually had a table on the outside, and it kept raining so hard it come inside. So then they got us a table on the inside, so he got to try out his gator bites. But Laura says, "Hey, Scooter, Kathy Woods, Oakwood has the best colored greens. They do. Like I said, if you're a green eater, yeah, they do have the best. And now, I'm one of those people that I dump vinegar all over mine. I just like them that way. But they do have the best collard greens.
I figured out why. Figured out why. Hold on.
Yeah.
My Wi-Fi was on with my, and I have something that I can get Wi-Fi from anywhere. And if I have Wi-Fi,
You realize everybody can hear you.
yeah, no.
Wrestler
she's
says
talking, you can't
every
talk.
day is chocolate camp in Hershey. Yeah, Wrestler's in Hershey, Pennsylvania, just outside Hershey. So yeah, every day is chocolate day there.
You have no chat.
But he brought home some. I got to see some of the stuff he made, and I did take some pictures.
Buddy,
There was a
shut up.
there's a fishing. They made a fishing pole with a fish on it, and they made marshmallow octopuses, or however you say that. And then there was a apple that was covered with chocolate and sprinkles and that kind of stuff. So they made a lot of neat stuff. And like I said, the people in there are just super. And okay. The family in Texas are doing good. They moved when they knew the hurricane was coming. They moved south to a different area. Well, they went to Kingsville, which is south.
It's north.
It's southwest.
Rockport, Kingsville.
No.
If he moved further south, he'd be in the ocean.
I don't And the Goliad was up here to the north of them. They went to Kingsville, which is south of them.
No, it's not.
Oh my God. Okay. But anyhow, they're doing fine. I think they were moving back to Rockport today or day
We
after.
went to Rockport yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, they were moving back because they, I guess they had electricity where they were at, and didn't seem like a lot of flooding in most places. So I think they did pretty good. Oh, Jerry wants to know, Scooter, who's your favorite grandparent?
Don't answer that. He's trying to trick you into something.
I can't say.
You can't say. Ann says, I would think gator bites would taste wild.
No.
And it doesn't.
Actually.
You don't have that wild taste. Like, he's truly honest. It does taste like chicken, only it's a little chewier.
Well, Scooter, what does gator bites taste like? Gator tail, what does it taste like?
Chicken.
What
Tastes
does it
like
look like? What does it look like?
Chicken.
Chicken nuggets?
Basically.
But they're smaller?
Yeah, yeah.
Small chicken
It
nuggets,
says
that's about what it
chicken
looks like.
or gator tail on the menu.
What kind of sauce do they give you to dip in?
I don't know the name, but it's the sauce they use like for shrimp. It's never like real bitter or something.
It's not what you think it is. People, when they think of alligator, they think, oh, yuck. They got a thing down here also. You don't never hear about it. It's called gator wings. What they do is they take the front legs and rear legs, cut them off, skin them, fry them like chicken wings, and they call them gator wings.
Oh, bye, wrestler. He has to go. Kathy Wood says, looks like you're drinking the best Coke. It's from Mexico.
Yeah,
They have the best.
Mexican Coke don't have that weird stuff in it. That's why I get it when it comes to the chemicals. That's the big difference. You get United States Chemical Coke, read the ingredients, get Mexican Coke in a bottle, read the ingredients.
Yeah, and like I said, he doesn't always drink that, but when we got it, he does. So
Or whenever she gets it, because it's expensive. It's like $36 a case.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, it's let's see. Yeah, and wrestler says try to keep your grandpa out of trouble.
I'm in the studio almost all the time.
He
There's
knows
nothing-
it's very challenging.
Huh?
He knows it's very challenging.
I'm in the studio all the time. There's nothing for me to get in trouble with. I took him up to get ribs the other day because he likes ribs, and I told him, I said, that's some of the best ribs I've ever had, and he agreed.
Yeah.
He said they fall off the bone, really, really good.
Yeah.
Not too much ingredients of this or that when it comes to sauce.
Yeah, and
And-
we've, like I said, I got the chicken, and I just used my own sauce. You know, they have bottles of the sauce on the table, and like I said, they don't put wet sauce on your chicken. It's a dry rub. So I just used the sauce on the
But
table.
they got the wet sauce there on the table if you want to use it.
So I said that's what I
Oh,
used.
Whatever it is, I don't even know what it is.
And yeah, Kevin says gator bites are awesome, and they are.
I've had them. I've had them for an appetizer. Nothing wrong with them at all. I think people just got it in their head that they think they know what it is, or they think, "Ew, yuck," and all that. And if you had gator bites, you wouldn't even. If I didn't tell you it was gator bites, you wouldn't even know.
Yeah. And Gracie says Kingsville is southwest of Rockport.
Why would he go south if there's a hurricane coming?
Don't ask me, but they, since the hurricane went north of where it was supposed to go, so he did the right thing, I guess. Somebody told him in Goliad last time they had evacuated Goliad, and then there was a bunch of tornadoes, and they had problems there in Goliad, so that's why he changed and went to Kingsville.
And we stayed at Goliad a day. It's like almost right downtown Goliad. If you're an RVer and you're just running around Texas and you're looking for a place to go for the night, there's a campground, don't know the name of it, but it was in like downtown Goliad. There's only one.
Yeah.
And we stayed there once. It's very, how you put it, laid back. Matter of fact, when I got there, the lady that was supposed to check me in wasn't even there. She went to town shopping. So I just grabbed a spot.
Oh, wait. William, the volume is because Skip and Scooter are sharing a microphone. So he says it's going up and down.
Yeah.
And I said,
Back and forth.
and I've lost my microphone. Okay.
So whose volume? My volume? Your volume?
Well,
Must have been your volume.
must have been mine. Okay. Frank says happy puppy. Yeah, he is a happy puppy. He's been ornery today, I'll tell you. He got up wanting to play ball, and usually he's pretty laid back for a couple hours, but not today. And I said he was raring to go as soon as he got up, and he slept later than what he usually does. But I think while I was gone, Skip got him in the habit of staying in bed because he was on my schedule, but not anymore. You know, he's getting lazy in his old age, but he continues to be a cutie pie. Don't know what else to say. You know, he's got a face that just makes you melt. But like I said, his hair is a disaster. And I think Wrestler said once that it looked like mine. And it does. Mine and his looks about the same. It's impossible.
Buddy.
What little of it I've got. So Harley John says, hey, Skippy. Oh, and William says,
Hi, Bill B. We're not out front today. We're back here in Lanicos. It looked like there was a storm coming from Tampa this way, and I thought, as a matter of fact, she put the awning out earlier, and the wind picked up, and it went back in. So
Yeah.
I just thought, just to be safe, we're just back here.
yeah, William says, if you think about it, chicken tastes like gator.
Good. Good.
Hey, Vic. He says, hey, y'all. It stormed a little bit a while ago. And I looked at the radar, and it didn't looked like the most of it was going to the north of us, but you just never know. And
Well, like yesterday, we didn't hardly get nothing here. And somebody told me it rained so hard around Lake Sumter that one of the tunnels up there flooded.
yeah,
Was it
we were
yesterday?
up there, and we didn't run into any.
Yesterday or the day before yesterday?
That was probably the day before, but it rained pretty hard yesterday.
What happens in them tunnels is debris, fawns fall on the ground, any kind of trash that might be on the golf cart path. It all goes down into the tunnel, and there's a drain down there. Well, if that stuff gets stuck on top of that drain, the tunnel floods, and all you got to do is wade in there and take that crap out of there, and it'll go down really quick.
Yeah, Vic said they had a little rain down there in DeLuna. Yeah, I think everybody, had a little bit. And I said I wasn't sure when we were in Lake Sumter and it was raining yesterday. And I had just stood down at the Flying Biscuit because Scooter was in chocolate camp. So I sit down at the Flying Biscuit with a glass of tea, and they brought me biscuits and apple butter. I haven't had apple butter in a long, long time. And I thought, I was really, really wanted to try that out with those biscuits. And then the storm just come up just like that. And so, like I said, it was a matter of just grabbing everything and running.
On our Discord, was it yesterday? Maybe the day before yesterday. I don't know when it was. One of the storms was passing by over here on the other side of me, probably about Wildwood area, and I was showing how lightning and how low the clouds hang. So there's a little short clip of that on Discord. If you guys are Patreon members, go there and you'll see it. Sometimes these thunderstorms, lightning storms they got around here is a little on the scary side.
Yeah, and Florida is the lightning capital of the U.S. It is. We have it, when it storms here, it's a lot of the lightning that is so scary. But I tell you something I read this morning that I didn't know was if you're close enough to hear the thunder, you're close enough to be hit by lightning. It doesn't have to be raining. I did not know that. And that was in the paper this morning. So kind of, if you see a storm's coming, just get out of the way.
Jerry Bell says, is Scooter a subscriber?
Yeah, I am. I can show you if you want.
He wasn't when he first came here.
Come here, baby.
I was a subscriber to your RV channel.
Oh.
Yeah. Vic says there were giant trucks with vacuums sucking garbage out of storm drains down here. People need to keep stuff from flying out of their golf carts. Yes.
You know, around here, where most of the trash comes from, it's really not golf carts. I mean, there's a little bit that does fly out of a little basket back there if they don't pay attention. But it's usually something like a golf hat or a golf glove they put back there and it comes out. It's the contractors. They throw everything in the back of a pickup truck and they go hauling for lunch and coming back, and they throw all their water bottles back there, and then that stuff comes flying out when they're heading home, doing, down Buena Vista or whatever. That's where most of it comes from.
Yeah. But I have seen stuff flying out of golf carts.
Well, it does, but not like the trucks.
Yeah.
Looks like yesterday we saw a bag on the ground, and I'm not sure what was in the bag, but let me just say there was some kind of a long stringy gut hanging out the other side of the bag. Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yucky. Yeah, just a yucky way of putting it, but yeah. Pam Sacco says crack biscuits, a flying biscuit. Yeah, they had some really, like I said, that biscuit was really, really good. And I wasn't expecting it, but anytime you order anything, evidently they bring you a biscuit with apple butter. And like I said, I haven't had apple butter since I was up north, so it's been a while.
No, it's not my settings.
Your YouTube settings.
My YouTube setting. No, it should. Hold on, I'll check.
Jerry said, do you have your RV ready for your return trip?
No.
Taking extra cooler for tomatoes and pork tenderloin. Would love to.
Yeah. No, I'm not sure I'm going to take the RV up there because it's just so damned hot. And hot and RV air conditioning just don't go together. So I may take it. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I'd rather, really, truthfully, for a quick trip to go up there and come home, because I'm not going up there and spending a week or two. I'm just going to go up there, drop Scooter off, and turn around and head back. I'd rather do it with the car, but then the problem we have with the car is hotels and a dog. And in the motorhome, same problem with the dog. He never travels. He don't travel well. The last time we had him in a car, I think he puked. I don't know if he still does or not, but he used to.
No, he doesn't anymore. He whines, but he doesn't throw up. But he always wants to get in the car. Oh, hi, Julie. Hi, honey. Julie Ship.
Hey, Julie. Here, take it.
Yeah. Vic says, Skip, will you please tell Laura that renting an RV and heading up north will not be cooler than staying in our comfy house? No, it won't be. And like I said, that's the hard thing. Everybody's having this big heat wave, not only here, but up there also. So
Actually, today I bet we're cooler than most of you. What is the temperature? I got up this morning, it was 76 degrees.
Yeah, it was supposed to be just in the 80s today, but higher 80s.
Up north, I think they're in the 90s.
Yeah. As I said, another heat.
And then also they got the hurricane. Jerry told me last night the hurricane went right straight through Indianapolis.
Yeah.
So.
Ann on here, she's there in Richmond. So she says it's still kind of crappy.
Yeah.
But
I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
yeah, and Kevin says, hey, Skip, you're absolutely right when you say don't walk barefooted in the pool area because landscapers use bathrooms and they have chemicals on their feet.
They do. Don't do that. That's why they need to keep them landscapers out of your pool. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, what's the big deal?" It is a big deal. If you ever get a skin irritation or a skin rash, or if you're allergic to some of these chemicals they're all tracking in there, and who knows what the heck they're tracking in there. I saw a lady's leg one day. Her right leg was so swelled up and so full of red. It was just painful to look at. Mm-hmm. And she don't know what it was. The doctor didn't know what it was. And my thought was, it could be around the swimming pool.
Mm-hmm. And John Romanek says 118 in Las Vegas. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Vegas and where else was it? Vegas and southern part of California. And actually, I think it was like maybe New York. They're talking triple digits for the next 2 or 3 days.
Was it Phoenix too?
Maybe it was Phoenix. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, pretty sure it was Phoenix.
Okay. Yeah, and that's, like I said, that's hot. Yeah.
Because the hurricane is supposed to stay in Florida, not Michigan. Well, once they get inland, they're not a hurricane anymore, but they sure do dump a lot of rain.
Yeah. Kathy B in the 603, 89 and humid here in the 603. high of 92 today. Yeah, it's been one of those, y'all are getting Florida weather.
Yuma, Arizona. Is that where we spent the night in the Cracker Barrel? And then we had to get gas at the last gas station before you crossed the California line? Is that where we stayed?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think we did. We stayed at Yuma at a Cracker Barrel. And it was sweltering hot for me. But it was okay. We survived the air conditioner. Believe it or not, I was working pretty decent that day. And then I thought, well, I'm going to get some gas before I get in California, right? Because California price. We went just down the road a little ways, a couple of miles or so, and there was, I think, a Love's gas station, a truck stop, kind of. And the place was just swamped with cars. So here I am with this motorhome towing a car, and getting in and out of them gas stations can be a nightmare. And I got my gas, and we were getting ready to leave, and then I realized after we went down the road, we didn't go very far, and bingo, there was the inspection station to go into California. So that was the last stop to get gas. And I mean, everybody was in there.
Yeah. Gracie says 94 in Central Virginia, but she says yesterday the temp was 98. Heat index of 106 in Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, we had a couple days, was it last week or this week? A couple days it was, the feel-like temperature is what they call it, was 114.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call BS on that feel like stuff. You know.
You can do that if you sit
Hey,
in the air
listen,
conditioning.
you can have the flu and get out of bed and say, boy, it feels like it's 100 degrees in this house. I'm sweating and I don't feel good, when actually it's only 70. So the feel like thing doesn't mean anything to me. What feels like 111 to you doesn't necessarily mean it feels like 111 to everybody.
William says, Skip, when a hurricane hits land, it can remain a hurricane.
No.
I went through the eye of Andrew, 160 plus mile per hour winds, and that's what determines a hurricane is
Is
the
a wind,
wind.
yeah. Category 1, I think, is 90, sustainable, not gusts, sustainable. I think it was 90-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So,
once
yeah.
it reaches land, I mean, I don't know, depending on how big that hurricane is. Hurricane Andrew, I think, was like a Category 5. I mean, it was a big one. But most hurricanes, by the time they get inside, well, that last hurricane here, Hurricane Irma, when it hit the Tampa shoreline, it was a Category 4. It came straight to the villages. I went right through here. By the time I got here, it was a high 1 or a very, very low 2. And it was almost a rain problem than it was wind. I mean,
Because as it hits land, it hits a lot of obstacles, so it kind of breaks it up a little, and so it's not quite as strong as the farther
I
inland.
think we were more worried about the tornado spin-offs.
Yeah.
You know, because they were keeping an eye on that. A lot of tornado spins off a hurricane, and we don't know where they're going to come from.
Yeah.
Right now, it's sinkhole season.
That's true.
There have been 2 or 3 up in the villages already.
They actually are fixing a tunnel that has a sinkhole in it. I think it's down south of 44, but yeah, I've not heard of that before. But they said they've got a tunnel down there. It has a sinkhole in it.
Sinkholes can pop up anywhere.
Yeah.
They could pop up in the middle of a gas station. They could pop up in the middle of a Walmart parking lot. I mean, you just don't know where they're going to pop up.
Yeah. And Vic says South Florida is flat like a pancake. So when it hits hilly areas, it kind of strips it down. Yeah, any of the obstacles that gets in its way as it moves, yeah, it kind of slows it down a little bit. And that's why we're pretty lax here about the hurricanes. I mean, we pay attention, we get prepared, but we don't get crazy and board up the windows and, you know, that kind of thing. We did that first year. We actually took the windows out of the lanai. Because they're only rated for a certain amount
I
of
called
wind.
and asked them, because when the hurricane came, I didn't know how it was going to be here. The predictions are all over the place. I can tell you what I know now about a hurricane. They don't know nothing until it gets here. Then they'll tell you it's here. But the computer things will show this. See, that's a line. That's the path your hurricane's going to take, just any old way. But I was more worried about the wind. And I called the company that installed my windows. I said, hey, how much wind can these things take on a hurricane? And she said my windows and doors was guaranteed for 90 miles per hour sustainable winds. She said, but if it gusts up to 120, then she said I wouldn't trust that warranty taking care of anything. So she said, if I was you, just take them out. And so I did. I took them out and I put them in the spare bedroom in there. And then really nothing happened, except our lanai got full of water. But
we was ready. You know, we were prepared. So
I just didn't want to go through the process of and the money. I mean, this stuff's expensive.
yeah, and William says sinkholes don't pop up, Skip. They're a hole in the ground.
Yeah. It's like the Grand Canyon, largest sinkhole in the world.
And Scooter, this is for you. It says your grandparents are technologically advanced. What do you think of that?
Grandparents what?
Are technologically advanced.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
you don't have
technologically-
any idea.
We're technologically advanced.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised how many things you know about it.
Oh, yeah.
He can't even get chat on his cell phone.
Yeah.
I can't.
Which he said, what a respectful
even-
young man he is. He's only 10, honey. I know he looks 12 or 13, but he's only 10. It's kind of, kind of hard to think of him as that age because he seems a lot older.
I'm going to mess with my phone a little bit. Oh, I got to use the talk. I'll hear you.
Yeah. What have you enjoyed the most?
The most?
Being with Grandpa. Going to the pool. Chocolate factory.
Yeah, the chocolate.
Oh,
cake.
yeah.
Because you could eat it.
Yeah. And what have you liked the
Yeah.
least?
The least?
Yeah.
Probably the airboat ride because we couldn't go there.
Oh, well, we haven't yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, we've just been scooting the rain. We went fishing.
What have you done that you liked the least?
The least?
Yeah, we can't talk about something
Fishing.
you've never done and say I didn't like it. You haven't even done it.
Yeah.
Fishing.
Yeah. And he
Oh,
loves
yeah.
fishing. He'd
Yeah.
fish every day. But we went fishing the other day. That was that day that it got like 114.
I ain't gonna do it. He didn't like it because it was weeds.
Yeah. Down there at
That's
Lake
really
Okahumpka, they've got a nice little place down there. And like I said, they've got a deck that goes out to the end of into the water, and then they've got a nice pergola over the top of it, so you're in the shade. But there's so much weeds in the water, you're constantly hooked on something, and it ain't fish. But like I said, we didn't stay very long because it was really too hot. If we were out somewhere, like I said, he loves fishing. He goes almost every day at home. But like I said, I wish we'd have been able to do that here. It's just too hot.
Laura says, have you rode in a golf cart yet?
Yeah, I have once. We went to the pool at I forgot what it was called, but we went to the
How much
pool.
gas is in the cart? I haven't even know. I ain't paying attention. I ain't put gas in it for 2 months.
I mean,
How much gas was that?
I have no
I mean,
idea.
nobody knows. You just drive until it runs out. and
We
it's
just
all-
went, to Manatee.
Oh, so I can't never run out of gas between here.
No, but I could have walked from there, so I didn't worry
I
about it.
leave my cart in the middle of the road?
I would. It should not be that low on gas, ever.
yeah.
I'm telling you. I haven't
Just
put
like the
gas in it.
car.
I don't know what's in there.
Well, just like the car, I
don't
do not
drive-
leave
I
it
don't drive
on
the car,
empty.
So I don't put gas in it.
Well, Gracie says, oh yes, I went through Isabel in 2003, 165 mile per hour gusts, come up through North Carolina and decimated Richmond.
That was
Mostly-
the other one. What was the other one up there? Hugo?
Big trees and telephone poles,
I think
some
it was
houses.
Hugo. Was it Hurricane Hugo? Yeah, it was Hurricane Hugo that went up to the East Coast, up around Jersey, New York City area, somewhere up in there. And it just devastated the whole coastal area.
Yeah. Oh, William, he said, what is he fed? What's he fed? Miracle Grow. Well, no, and it really surprised me what he does eat. I mean, I'm always trying to push him food off on him. I kind of do that. It's a mother thing. But like I said, he doesn't eat that much. Like I said, he's a big boy. His brother's a big boy.
He doesn't eat that much. He ate a whole rack of ribs for dinner. Had French fries, or what was it? Your sides.
It was potato salad and macaroni, or cheese.
Potato salad and macaroni, but you didn't eat the macaroni at all. Didn't even taste it.
I did.
You didn't like it?
It was not good.
Huh?
It wasn't good.
Didn't like the cheese or what?
I don't know. It just had a weird taste to it.
Probably the cheese.
Yeah, I ate all mine. Yeah, it's. Gracie says Richmond is 110 miles inland. Yeah, but like I said, you still get the storm surges and what have you, but it's not like I said, we feel pretty safe here because we're inland, but that doesn't mean a tornado can't hit. And I said, we
Well,
come from tornado area,
Big
so.
enough hurricane comes, gives us a kid, we'll have problems. You know, they had it with Disney, Disney's inland, and they had problems there, so. I was in Orlando when, the hotels were locking everything up because they were full. People from other parts of Florida, first thing they do is that if they don't wanna be in the villages because there's a hurricane coming, they get in their car, they go north about 50 miles, and then go to the very first hotel.
Yeah,
That's
and I'll
what
tell
they
you
do.
what was the Irma, when it was here, the one thing that people did evacuate, what they noticed was they run out of gas. They could only go so far because the filling stations were empty because all the people from the south of Florida was coming north. And so they ran out of gas pretty quick.
Seems to me there was a couple of fights about gas.
Yeah, and we didn't even think about that. You know, I mean, we didn't evacuate, but it didn't even occur to
Oh,
me.
I think about it. I'm always telling her, keep the car full. You never know. I want the car full.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to tell you to keep the golf cart full.
Well, I'm not taking the golf cart to outrun a hurricane.
No. Pam Sacco says we top off the cart on the first of the month, every month, whether it needs it or not. David Williams says he can't hear.
Probably me, because I got it over here on scooter.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They don't need to hear me anyway.
We're kind of sharing microphones here, so. But, yeah, like I say, hopefully, you know, now they say we're going to get a lot of hurricanes this season because of the freaky weather.
What are you doing?
Trying to get it off. I was gonna put it right here so we
There's
can
a
both
little
like
thing
talk.
right here. Comes right off.
It's a clip,
Oh,
like an
then
alligator
See how
clip.
hard that is? And put it back on. Now you take it off.
Yeah. Oh.
Are you kidding me?
I don't know why.
Here, let me show you again. You squeeze this thing right here, see it comes right off.
Yeah, I see.
You put it back on, and you take it off.
Well, they can't hear you, so they said get a little closer to me.
They don't want to hear what I gotta say anyway. They're more interested in what Buddy's doing.
Yeah, and Buddy's down here chewing on my feet. You better not
They don't help.
chew on that.
It's gotta be on you fairly close to your mouth so you're talking into it.
Yeah. No. So what are y'all doing today? I said, is it storming where you're at? And you got plans? This is Wednesday. And I said, a lot of people had to take Wednesday as their nothing day. You know, I think even the doctor's offices used to close on Wednesday because they'd take that as their golf day. I don't know if they still do that or not. I know they used to. Now everything's specialized, so they just send you to another doctor instead of taking the day off. But let's see.
I don't know what kind of sports do you do when you're at home?
I'm at home. Flag football.
Here's the micro on because you talk so weak.
Flag football.
You play football?
A little bit.
So it's
Yeah.
flag
I used to,
football.
yes.
So you can't tackle nobody.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, and coaches, let's see, Frank says coaches will be trying to recruit Scooter, swimming, golf, paddle games, yeah,
Let me tell you what I found out.
bowling.
I don't think coaches are going to be doing anything in high school in Indiana anymore. He's 10 years old. What grade are you in?
Fifth. I'm going in the fifth.
Fifth grade. I want you to tell these people what it is that they teach you in school.
Math, reading, and writing, and that's it.
I asked him there, I said, well, you ought to know your history. You take history, right? He goes, no, they don't teach history. Geography? No, they don't teach no geography either. And there's some other stuff. That's it. 3 subjects all day long. Math,
Reading and writing.
reading, and writing. That's it. Nothing else. Can you believe that?
But you know, his brother was bigger than he was when he was young, and they wouldn't let him play football
He hurt
because
people.
he hurt people.
Seriously, he did.
He
I
was
don't
so
think he
big.
meant to. He's just so big, and his head was so big that the helmets they had for kids his age would not fit. They had to go to the high school and borrow a helmet to put on him.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Cheeses says some of the suburbs here in Chicago had 5 inches of rain from the hurricane that hit Texas. Yeah, I know it was heading that direction, and Ann O, she's in Richmond, Indiana, so she said they had a lot. Vic says I got to head over to Wolfgang Paul's to donate some dog food.
Wolfgang Pucks?
Wolfgang Paul's, that's the shop, the dog shop uptown.
Oh,
Wolfgang.
I thought you were talking about the restaurant over there.
No, that's Wolfgang.
That's what I said. Wolfgang
This is
Pucks.
Wolfgang
Oh.
Paul's.
I'm out of the loop.
Is that where you got Buddy's like attachment thing?
Yeah. And Laura says,
Well, You know that like his collar, but it's not his collar like wrapped around his body.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called, but that isn't Wolfgang.
yeah, that's where we
that?
got it. We got it at Wolfgang, yeah. And Laura says she's working from her office today. July 19th, she flies to Orlando. July 20th, drive to the Villages for vacation. Yay! Well, great to see you get out of there for a little while, Laura.
Yeah, we're still here.
William says, check the connection with the speaker, please.
We're sharing this little microphone here. When he's talking over there, you're not going to hear him because this is a dynamic mic, and if you don't know what dynamic mics are, you got to speak directly into it. I cannot hold it out here like that. You might hear me, but you have to strain to hear me.
Yeah.
I got to have it right up here. So when he says something over here, I got to get it over there. And so this is the way it is.
Oh, and let's see, Michelle Gaines Mitchell says,
Look at here, Ron 5850 says $5 for scooter.
Thanks.
Well, thanks, Ron.
What are you going to do with it?
Probably save it.
You ain't going to save it.
Yeah.
No kid saves money.
Until I see something cool, I'll probably spend
Something
it.
cool.
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't know.
What are you going to get cool for $5?
Probably nothing, but might go to the gas.
You can't even get a ticket to go in and see a movie theater for that, can you?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you can't even see a movie.
But thank you, Ron. And Scooter thanks you too.
Hey, maybe you can buy me dinner.
I could. I got $60 in my wallet.
How much?
60.
You got more than I got.
Yeah. And he bought his mom a present. And that's sweet. Sherry Hall, enjoying the last few days of my medical leave, returning to work on Monday. We'll go back to catching you guys on the replay going forward. Well, Sherry, I'm glad you're getting better. Glad that you're able to go back to work. I wish you didn't have to, but glad that you're able anyhow.
Vic says you can get a Dole Whip in Brownwood at 5 p.m. or before 5 p.m. I don't know where to go.
What's a Dole Whip?
Remember, I seen that
It's
truck.
like pineapple ice cream.
Yeah, I seen
so
that
bad.
truck the other day, and we went in Scooples instead because there's air conditioning. But they had the truck there, so.
Oh,
But
yeah, I know what you're talking
the poke, Island Fin poke, they have the Dole Whip in there.
Jerry said to Scooter, go see Scooter. They've canceled the shows because of the afternoon storms.
Now he was at Lake Sumter the other night, and I said we didn't go because I thought it was going to storm.
But apparently not.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what you're supposed to do when you go there? You go right up to the front stage. When Scooter turns around, you holler as loud as you can. And for you, that's going to be an effort. You yell as loud as you can, Scooter, you suck. He personally told us that.
Unlike you, honey, I couldn't do it. Give me that, buddy.
Why does he want you to say he sucks?
Well, that's what he told us to do.
I think we had him on WNL. He told us to do that because that way, if we go up there and say you suck, he knows we're the WNL crew because he told us that. It's kind of like a code thing. I think
Kevin did it.
Kevin did it, and I think Jose did it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the rest of them, but I know that Jose did it.
Yeah.
I asked him. I said, "So did anybody jump on you for saying that?" He goes, "No, nobody said anything." I'm always afraid I'm going to go up there and one of Scooter's big fans is going to turn around and say, "Hey," you know.
Yeah. Hey, Carol. We went to Wildwood to the fireworks July 3rd, actually. It was before the 4th. And they had, at the Wildwood Community Center, they have a big area out there near the ball fields. And they had all kinds of food trucks and entertainment, games to play, stuff like that for the kids. And then they had the fireworks later. It was kind of nice. I mean, it was crowded, no doubt. And getting out of there was an act of patience, let me tell you.
Frank, you're right. That's what I was trying to tell him, but he's young. He don't understand. I said, I can't believe we're not teaching you history. I said, quiet. I said, because in life, if you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. And when I mention certain names, he don't know he swears he don't know who they are. Other than the big names like George Washington, you know that, and you know Abraham Lincoln, and any other presidents you're not. I asked about the Bush. I said, you know the Bushes?
I have no clue.
No, he has no idea. Anyway, I mean, some of that's just kid stuff. I know their memory; they don't care one way or the other. But just, one day I asked him, when's the War of 1812?
1812.
He got that right.
But he didn't know Hitler.
Yeah.
Hitler, you don't know Hitler. You don't know anything about World War II. Omaha Beach, Normandy, none of that.
Maybe they don't teach them till older classes. I don't know.
I am so disappointed in our school system. I told Sue, and I am dead serious, if I had kids in school today, right now, and I lived in Indiana and they were doing this, I'd pull my kids out. If I had to get a second job, I would send them to a private school, one way or the other, because I wouldn't allow that.
I know Hitler.
Yeah.
I know Hitler.
Me?
Huh?
Am I your Hitler?
No.
He knows Hitler, so.
What's Hitler's first name?
Hitler.
See? He don't know.
Okay, but like I said, they may keep that for later years. I mean, he just finished 4th grade. So I don't know when they start teaching that kind of stuff. So,
I don't remember where I was at in the 4th grade.
yeah. Mark
I think
Riley,
I had recess.
Trish Inez says, I'm retired from teaching, and it really bothers me that they don't teach history and geography. Very important to learn, and makes me wonder why that isn't in the curriculum.
Yeah, I guess my question is I don't understand why they're not. We're paying them to do this. Why are they not teaching history? I don't see any logical reason why you would not teach history in school. You may not like part of the history, but it's our history. It's just what it is, and I just don't get it. And let me just say, in the 4 corners of my house, that crap ain't flying. It just ain't flying around here.
Yeah, and we've seen every old movie that they've got.
Oh yeah, I've been showing him every old movie that I remember as a kid. He don't know none of them, and he don't know all these different actors. Like he doesn't know. I don't even know John Wayne. He don't know any of them. He doesn't know. So we've been watching all kinds of old movies.
Yeah.
Back to the Future. He watched it for the first time last night.
Yeah. But like I
I
said,
saw
you know,
3 of them. Like,
he's 10. If you know the age of these movies are 40 years ago, you know, it's not that surprising. And he doesn't do a lot of TV at home.
yeah.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. That's older than the hills, and everybody knows the movie.
Well,
So your excuses for him not knowing this stuff to me just don't fly.
well, like I said, you know, if you don't do TV, how
Here's
do you
why
know
they
that?
don't know anything. My impression of Scooter at night, laying in bed. What? He'll look at me. What?
Yeah. Oh well.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, they're too busy teaching them stuff they don't need to know. That's true.
When it comes to history, I need to know it all.
Do you remember the pull-down map in elementary school?
Yes.
Oh yes.
There was 3 or 4 of them, actually. Pulled one in front of another, for history, for geography. I don't even know what they all
Yeah,
were for,
yeah.
but yeah, I remember. And I remember as a kid, we had to go up with the pointer and walk up to the board, and she would mention a country. And she said, I want you to point at that country. And
Yeah.
the names weren't on the map. The whole map was there with the shapes, but there was no names. And she said, point at France. And we had to learn that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, is it important? I don't know. Nowadays, if you want to go to France, you go to the nearest airport and say, take me to France.
Yeah, that's true. Sailor Dude says, my grandson wouldn't watch a black and white film. That was years ago. But yeah, it's really, like I said, they've been raised different. Like I said, they've been raised with a lot of technology. So sitting in front of a screen watching a movie is pretty hard for them, you know. Otherwise, they're not conversing with another person. They're just watching them on TV. So,
I love black and white movies. You can go to YouTube if you know what to type in, and there's thousands of old movies that's free for you to watch. And one of them that I had him watch, because I used to watch it as a kid, it was a movie that came out at the time, and at the time it was a great movie. It's called United States versus Flying Saucers, or Flying Saucers versus the United States, something like that. Type it in there, and it'll come up. And then if you scroll up, if you're on your TV, underneath that, once you get that scientific movie in there, underneath of that movie will be hundreds and hundreds of other movies that relates to that movie.
oh yeah.
So we watched The Queen of Venus. The good one is, what's it called? The Forbidden Planet. Man, you can't find that baby nowhere.
Yeah.
What about the day the Earth stood still?
Yeah. The day the earth stood still.
The day the Earth stood still?
I already watched The Day the Earth Stood Still. When I asked him, I said, you know the name of that robot? No. And I said, there's 3 names you have to remember when you're watching this movie. What are those 3 names?
Klaatu, Burmata, I know the other one started with an N, I think. Nigwe? I don't know. That was days ago.
But thank God they aren't glued to a TV. Yeah. Yeah, Elizabeth says even if history is being taught, it's messed up because of how books are being written. Stuff that is history is being removed. Yeah, because somebody's
We're going to regret
offended.
it.
Yeah,
It's just like around here in the villages. I'm going to relate history to the villages. You got people here that are in their 80s and 90s, World War II people. Then you got me. I'm Vietnam War people. I'm not Vietnamese, but you know what I mean. And then you got Scooter. He don't know what war is. I mean, his generation has seen it, but he didn't.
thank God for that. Yes.
Yeah, but he don't know anything about it. He don't know who's
Yeah.
president when things happen. He don't even know what the war was about.
Yeah.
And that's the difference because they forget. I remember, and then when you die, after one generation of your family, you are no longer in existence. You're not even in anybody's memory. They done forgot who you was.
Okay, Williams the Scooter. Skip once told us that lunch was his best class in school. Can you believe that?
I've told him the other day, I said for lunch, when I was probably in about the 5th grade or 4th grade, I don't remember, that on one day a week, and I think it was Fridays, we had everything. Monday you got this, Tuesday you got that, Wednesday, and then on Thursday you could get chocolate milk, and then Friday we had pizza burgers. And I don't know what was on them pizza burgers, but I remember it to this day. 2 things, pizza burgers and apple crisp. And man, those were really good.
Yeah. And Vic says he seems like a good kid. Give him the love for reading and he will educate himself. Yes. Yes.
Problem is, educate himself. It all depends on who he's hanging around. I'm always concerned about kids and who they're hanging around. He's from small town America. How many people live in your town? Do you have any idea?
All I know is not that many.
Yeah, it's just a really small town. And so really they're kind of isolated from the outside world and what's going on. But do you have any kids in your town that think they're in some kind of gang?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. What do they do? Do they do these finger sign things? They do? Yeah. See, that's what bothers me more than that. That's the kind of education he don't need.
Okay. Well, and I would love for you to watch the movies on the space launches. When I was in school, I watched the space launch and I was just fascinated. And still today, we can see some of them from down here. I mean, you don't see anything, but
Yeah,
just
they go right through there.
yeah, you just see a kind of a fireball going up. But still, I'm
Only at night.
standing there
Daytime.
watching them every time.
Yeah. Daytime, not much.
Yeah. Gracie says, I remember taking math, spelling, grammar, French, and Virginia history. 5th grade geography and science was added. And watched Alan Shepard fight on TV in classroom.
See,
And
there's
yeah,
another subject, science. I took science.
Well, and I said it may be added in a later date. He's only.
Why isn't he doing it now?
Well, don't ask me. I'm not a teacher. But
I did it when I was in his age. We had a full day of classes, and in there you'd have lunch. I think it was like half an hour, and then somewhere in there, it seems to me we had a rest time, which now later they call it study hall, but nobody ever studies. He's got 3 classes. Think about this. He's in school for 8 hours. He has 3 classes.
Wow. Sailor Dude says, I watch old films online all the time. Earth versus the Flying Saucers.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
that's a good one. I like it.
Yeah, and the one that they're always looking for Dr. Russell Marvin. Which one is that? I don't know, but I remember that name, He just married his assistant, and her father got took up in the...
Flying saucer versus
Oh, okay.
Earth. Earth
I just
versus-
remember his name
Earth
was
versus flying saucer.
Dr. Russell Marvin.
It's one of them.
And Jerry wants to know if you got a TikTok channel.
A TikTok.
TikTok. No, his mom, I can tell you right now, his mom won't allow him to have TikTok.
Yeah. Okay. And Vic says Klaatu. That's one of
Batu,
them.
Rada,
Nigwe.
Nikto.
Nick.
God. Sailor Dude says Zort.
Is Gort with a G. Matter of fact, to this day, that robot that there was Gort, he was stowed out in the trash when that movie got done because it was in storage and it deteriorated to the point they threw it out in trash. Somebody that worked for that studio retrieved it all from the trash. I guess they let him do that. And he took it and he kept it for a long time, and then he sold it to somebody on eBay. And then they took that and they reconditioned everything back to original. And that person was, he's another director of movies out there. He's an older guy. He's still got that robot in his collection. He's got that robot, and he's also got the robot from Dr. Smith, and they had a robot on there.
Oh yeah, Lost in Space.
Lost in Space. He's got that robot too.
Yeah.
Look at there. Ron's giving
Oh.
you another $20.
William, we watched Stand By Me the other day. I wanted him to see that one.
Thanks,
Jeremy
Ronnie.
Cook.
Thanks.
So I wonder how Boy Scouts are nowadays. My Scout leaders were still young Vietnam vets, and they really taught us a lot. You know, I don't know. There's been so much controversy with the Boy Scouts and what have you. I
I
don't.
say, I don't know if they even do Boy Scouts anymore
Yeah.
because of all the child molesters out there and weird people in this world.
Yeah. Sailor Dude says Plaatu Barada Nikto.
Yep.
Tell
That's
Gort
it.
if anything goes wrong. Oh, and
I like the movie.
Tammy says, Scooter, go to the library and look up Thing. You start doing that, you will love history. And I remember Thing.
What's the thing?
Yeah, it's a sci-fi movie. The Thing.
I thought the thing was when they had giant spiders.
Now, I think they sounded like crickets.
Yeah.
At the first of it?
Giant spiders.
Yeah. But I think Mom probably didn't let him watch those because some of them are pretty scary. He's big enough now, though. Now.
What was the name of the guy that was a cop in that movie? Wore his hat crooked like he did back then, yeah. And he'd get on 10-4, 10-4, 10-4, 10-4. That guy.
I don't know.
Broderick Crawford. Broderick Crawford. It just come to me.
Yeah. Jeremy, BSA is all woke now. It's a waste of time. I was a scout leader at church, and my church pulled out of Boy Scouts. Yeah, a lot of places did. And Sailor Dude says Roger Corman films are fun monster sci-fi films. They are, a lot of them. And yeah, and you did say thank you to Ronnie.
I did.
Yeah. Okay.
I saw it. I said, Scooter got another $20. Now you got $25.
Yeah. And John and Jane says watch War of the Worlds.
Now you can buy me a bigger dinner.
Yeah.
I think we're
and-
going to that.
I think when we get done here, we're going to go down at Gators down here in Brownwood. I don't know. I just haven't had one of their Philly sandwiches for a while, and I think I'm about due.
Yeah.
So,
And Tammy says that you should already be learning those subjects. We know that. You know, we were kind of suspect of that too. And I think I'm going to ask. Of course, he may not know what's on the 5th grade curriculum for next year, so they may have added some of that stuff. But I think I'm going to ask about it actually.
yeah, all I can tell you is we were out eating or something, and we were just talking at the table, and I mentioned something, and I looked at him and I said, "You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?" No. I said, "Well, they teach you in history. We don't have history." What? And that's how it started.
Yeah. And thank you, Ronnie. He says have a great day. Evidently he has to leave.
Thank you.
Bye, Ronnie. Appreciate
Thank you,
it, buddy.
thank you. Yeah. Twilight Zone to Serve Man. It's a cookbook.
Do you know Rod Serling? His name don't bring. Wait, never mind. Rod Serling did a Twilight Zone. Back in his day, it was genius.
Yeah. Gregory Breeze says, I still enjoy going on YouTube and watch Victory at Sea. Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah.
There's a lot on YouTube. I haven't found everything that I watch, but I can remember as a kid, Saturday morning cartoons is what most people did. I didn't. I got up early in the morning, and Harlow Hickenlooper came on, and his whole show was the Three Stooges. But then they would pause, and then he would have all kinds of fun games that he did with kids in the audience. And then they go back to the Three Stooges show. And that's the way it went, back and forth, back and forth. And so I watched that, and then my friend Flicka came on. It was about a boy that had a horse on a farm, and it was a story of that. And then Fury, another horse, then the Lone Ranger,
My favorite was Sky King.
Sky King,
Yeah.
with the plane, and he flew around the ranches and what. I watched all that stuff.
Yeah, and Jerry McCook says, Vic, that's a shame. That's about the Boy Scouts. Yeah, it is.
Look at there, Scooter. You got another $5 from
Wow.
Jackie Van Auken.
Thank you,
So
Jack.
how much do you have now?
30.
How much?
30.
Okay, I just want to know if you can still add.
Okay.
Do they teach you math?
Yeah, they
Well, I'm just wondering.
Sailor Dude said it conquered the world, 1956. That's a Lee Van Cleef, Peter Graves. Very fun movie. I have to check that out. Haven't seen that in a long time.
Peter
either.
Graves. You know who his brother was? Well, some people don't. It's just a fun game. Do you know who Peter Graves is? No, you don't. You ever hear Gunsmoke? No, you never did. You ever hear Chester? You don't know.
Why do you keep asking me questions? If you know
Because I already know the answer. These are shows that when I grew up, all these people here, they're about my age probably, they know everything I just said. Everything.
Yeah, just different generation.
I think to this day, Gunsmoke is the longest Western series ever. It runs something like, I don't even know, like 20 years, 22, I don't even know. Just a long time.
I remember my mom, because my stepdad watched it every day, all the time.
I like it.
And I remember her saying that she was going to put a bullet in the TV.
Then the other one I used to watch, I think it was a half-hour series, and I don't know how many years it lasted, was Paddleton.
Paladin, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, love Paladin.
He lived in a hotel in
San Francisco.
California, San Francisco, yeah.
Yeah. William says, okay, so I'll stand by me. Now have him see Animal House. I don't think so.
What?
See Animal House. Not right yet. And Sailor Dude says it's nice that he is visiting you and hanging out. Have fun. Yeah, we don't get to. This is the first time we had him down here since he was in a stroller, and I had to go up and get him because Mom and Dad are not together anymore, so it's kind of one of those things. But like I said,
the other night we watched Jaws.
Oh yeah.
And he's never heard of Jaws, have you?
I heard of it, but I never watched it.
But he never watched it.
Yeah.
Sue says that may not be appropriate. I says, oh, leave him alone. Moms and boys, they should not be together. I swear to God, they won't let these boys grow up to be men.
Well,
She was afraid that the blood and the guts might get to him, which there really wasn't any if you really watched the movie, other than that one time where the leg kind of
falls
floated.
down.
Are you traumatized?
No.
Did you have nightmares?
No. It's a good movie, actually.
It is a good
it
movie.
was a good movie. Tricia Nett says went to McAllister's for the first time recently in Brownwood.
I like McAllister's.
Oh my God, such a great lunch place. It is. And we used to, I don't know if you've ever had their potatoes. They have the filled potatoes. And like I said, I like them because I don't do meat. But where Skip's mom and dad used to live, they had a little bar downtown that served those potatoes. And they had a menu that was this long of stuff you can put in those potatoes. And I mean, these were big potatoes. It made a whole meal.
The thing is about those potatoes, I don't even know where they got them.
Yeah, I don't know where they got them.
I've never seen potatoes.
They were a
this
whole
big.
meal anyhow, and I said, and McAllister's have somewhat the same thing. Now I think they only got a choice of maybe 3 or 4 of the filled potatoes, but they're very, very good.
Oh, Dad's up there at that bar, and this was just a neighborhood bar. But Dad and Mom would go up there about once a week, really. Dad's favorite potato was a pizza potato. Mom's was, I'm not sure, I want to say stroganoff potato
beef
or something
stroganoff.
like that.
Yeah.
They had a menu of like 50 different ways that they made these potatoes,
Yeah.
and
they,
people
and they
would.
had breakfast and breakfast potatoes, and they had lunch potatoes, they had dinner potatoes.
Yeah,
It was
people
the
would
darndest
come
thing.
down to that little bitty town from miles away just to eat there.
Yeah, and it was really good. I had a lot of them. And thank you, Jackie, very much. And I'm sure Scooter appreciates it. Now, let's see.
Tammy says, plan a trip to D.C. Smithsonian. I've been there. I've been to D.C. 3 times now. There's so much there to see and do that I just can't do it all in one trip because, after about 2 or 3 days, I'm ready to move on. But we've been to, what's Smithsonian? We went to the Smithsonian, I forget, the museum where they had the Hope Diamond. We did go to that.
And we went to the one with the airplanes.
We went to one with the airplanes, whatever I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
And I thought we went to one about the money, where they had bottles full of shredded money, and it showed you how they made money. It showed you how it got processed. And then when it comes old money, the banks are every so often have to send the old money back for whatever reason. They shred it. Now, I don't know about today. I'm just telling you, when we were there, that's what they did. So then we went over to the Washington Monument, and they had this elevator go to the top up there. So we went up there. I got some pictures up there, but this is from old, you don't want to see those pictures. They're old cameras. They just, the pocket instamatic stuff. And so anyway, and coming down, guess who had this bright idea? Hey, I see that there's stairways over here. Let's walk down.
It was that we walked up.
No, we
and then
walked
found
down.
out we couldn't get down. We had to walk back down. Because there was stuff in the stairwell. So we wanted to see that stuff. So we walked up. And we thought we'd take the elevator down. Well, once you got up there was no way to get to the elevator. You had to walk down.
Maybe that's what
also.
it was.
Yeah.
But the interesting part about taking that stairway, either up or down, is it took many, many decades to build that thing. So as you go up or go down, you notice the stairway changes. The newer part, which is probably at the top, have marble steps. Halfway up, they turn into kind of like a wood or a block. You get all the way down to the bottom down there, and they're like almost ancient. That's why, and they talked about, if you ever look at the Washington Monument, how half of it is a different color than the other half. It seemed to me it had something to do with like maybe the World War I or Civil War or something like that, and they were changing. So anyway, what I'm point is, I'm rambling, is we did a bunch of DC stuff, and of all the stuff that we did and all the trips we've been there, the only one that really stands out in my mind is really, really worth seeing, but it's a lot of walking, is Arlington Cemetery.
Yes. One of the nicest places we ever been to, because there was so much history there. And I said, we did a lot of walking because we actually got lost. Had to ask a lady that was at a grave site with some flowers how to get out of there. And I didn't see, they had buses that went in there, but I didn't see anything like a shuttle or anything like that. So, and it's up and down hill.
A lot.
Yeah, but it's one I would tell anybody, if you ever get a chance, go see it, because it was something really unbelievable.
If you have any kind of walking disabilities there, and you really want to walk around it and see all the different graves, like John F. Kennedy and all the judges, and it just goes on and on and on. I don't know if you can rent them or not. Can you rent an electric scooter?
I didn't see anything like that there. All I seen was the regular buses. Then there were usually tour buses where there was, 100 people on them. I didn't see anything.
If you have walking disabilities in any way, if you go, I would call, ask them. To be honest with them, I got walking disabilities. What can I do? I don't know what to do, but I'm just telling you, it's a lot of walking. It's uphill, downhill. Yeah, every tree had a tag on it, and we went over and read these tags on these trees, and that's a history in itself. This tree was planted by Lyndon Baines Johnson when he became president. This tree was planted by Grover Cleveland back in 18 whatever. I mean, and yeah, there's a lot to see and do there.
Yeah. Hey, Jeremy. Jeremy Cook's here. Jerry asked Jeremy, how's the closet business doing?
How's the what business?
The closet business.
Closet business.
Yeah. Jeremy, the guy that did the closets.
Why are they asking me about it?
They're not.
Oh, never mind.
And Vic says, Cat Women of the Moon. Yeah, that's another one of those oldies.
Where's Jeremy at? I don't even see him.
He's on there. It's all on down. We're not down that far yet, but
I'm all the way to the bottom.
no, you're not.
Huh?
No, you're not.
Look,
Is it Jeremy or Jerry?
I'm at the bottom. Look. See me scroll? Bottom.
Okay. Brian Cutstory says, Skip, pull the mic away from your mouth. It's too loud.
Where's Jeremy at?
And Laura says, James Arness was Peter Graves' brother. Yes.
Yep, that's right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Phil says, 133 watching, 59 likes. Can we
Oh,
get some
Johnny, I
more
forgot
likes?
about that one, the Rifleman. Yeah, I used to watch that.
Yeah, if you get a chance, guys, go give us a like. Give us that thumbs up. We appreciate it.
Trisha said, yes, I did have the loaded potato. There's Jeremy, yes.
Yeah.
Jerry Bell, it's steady, but I'm getting more work from outside the villages than within. Isn't that weird? I would think he'd get tons of work in the villages.
Well, you gotta
In
get
case
your
you
name
guys
out
don't
there.
know, Jeremy McCook right there. I had a video, maybe a couple of them. He started a business where actually he started out customizing closets. He probably does other stuff now. And I did a video of his shop and how he did it and everything. He done my closet. I think he done Linda's closet. Vic.
Yeah,
Vic,
that's the first one we seen.
Yeah,
was
Vic
Vic's.
Madeira that's on there. He done his closet. He had a huge closet. And Jeremy's very good at it. I mean, very good at it. So if any of you new villagers buying a home down here would consider having your closet or I suppose other stuff, I don't know, customized, get a hold of Jeremy. I'm
We
serious.
talked about him for kitchen cabinets too.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he can slide you a phone number or something because I can't do much here.
Yeah. Let's see. Gracie says, I love Sky King, and my husband had lunch with Sky King in Winter Springs, Florida in the 1980s. Really? Well, I love that show, and I think that's one of the reasons I love flying. And I took my flying lessons. One of them was, of course, the lady that flies, but the other was Sky King. I was just enamored of airplanes. And so I took flying lessons. That was back when I was a kid. But yeah, have lunch with Sky King. That would have been cool. And
Sailor Dude says James Arnett was in the first It film. IT film. What is that?
Pennywise the Clown.
Huh?
Pennywise the Clown.
Huh?
Pennywise the Clown. It, the movie.
Pennywise the Clown. No, I don't think so, honey. It was before that.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. It. You remember the movie It?
I just remember them.
Well, yeah, there was one of them too. Tama Jamma says, hello from Wisconsin. I'll be in the Villages for the first time on Sunday looking at some homes. Well, good for you. Listen, there's a lot of homes here to see. Don't turn down a used one because they've got a lot of stuff that's been added to them that you won't have to do. So you're going to look at all of them. Don't just look at new ones. Look at all of them. And you'll love it down here. And Jerry Bell says Goonies. Yeah, Goonies is a good show. That was a good movie.
You ever hear of Goonies? That's probably more your line.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I have. I watched it with Mom.
It's about a bunch of kids.
Hold on, I'm trying to remember it.
You're trying to remember it.
Yeah, because
So it's lost. It's lost in there somewhere.
Yes, but I've watched it before. I know I have.
Yeah, Laura says when my parents were dating, they could not go out on the night Gunsmoke was on. That's what I said. My mom got so sick of my stepdad watching Gunsmoke, she said she was going to put a bullet through that TV. And I understand, actually. Trish Annette says, I'm about to be a nana of a boy, Sue. I'll probably be the same as you.
Sherry
Well, let's
says,
hope not.
Sherry says, I'm at the end of the baby boomers. My childhood, when is the end of the baby boomers?
I don't really know.
Well, I don't either.
Yeah. I know, it's still beyond there.
She said her childhood was the Brady Bunch, Gilligan's Island, and a Partridge Family. Brady Bunch, I didn't mind. I wasn't crazy about it. Gilligan's Island, I kind of liked. I know it's a stupid movie, right? But I kind of liked it. Partridge Family, nah, I didn't care for that at all.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it.
Bonanza run 14 seasons, and Gunsmoke was only 9. So.
Oh, I don't know. I just know that Gunsmoke was on as a series. Bonanza really wasn't a Western movie. They had that. I read that they had it classified as something else. I can't remember what they had it classified at. Where Gunsmoke, sheriff, getting in the street, having a 6-gun, gunfight, that was considered to be a Western. I don't know all the statistics about it.
Yeah. And Tricia said she did have the loaded potato at McAllister's. Yeah, they're really good. And like I said, they do fill you up.
I like their cheese broccoli soup.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it pretty well.
And the Rifleman, Chuck Connors. Yeah, that was a good show, too. Sailor Dude says, I'm figuring out my wife of 30 years never watched a lot of films I know of. It gives me a reason to watch them again. I worked overseas a long time away from her, watching things alone. Yeah, that's, Skip was on the road a lot. And so, the things that I watched, I remember in my childhood, but like I said, in the years after we were married, I was kind of too busy for TV. I said I worked, I had kids. I said I didn't have much time for TV. But I've caught up.
Yeah, when you're on the road, there's 2 things that you just kind of give up, and that's communicating with friends mostly, or at least because when I was trucking, cell phones didn't exist. It was a mall bell, credit card, go to a truck stop and sit in the booth where they had a phone, and mall bell charged you way too much money to use that card, like $1 a minute or something to call home.
Yeah.
So you just want to, real quick get on and off. And then TV, because when I was trucking, we didn't have TVs in a truck. I can remember getting a portable 12-volt TV. It had a screen about that big a square. Yeah. And you couldn't even hardly see it. And it was all black and white. And you had to antenna it. You had to move around to try to get something. And,
yeah. And,
so I didn't see movies. I didn't really get a chance to talk to friends until I got home for the weekend, if I got home on a weekend. And then I would call them up and say, hey, I'll meet you up at the Point. That's basically a big bar, restaurant thing. And I'd meet them up there, and we'd all talk about where we went this week, what we'd done, and all this and that.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you go to bed, you get up, and it's, crap, I got to leave tonight. I got to go to Kansas in the morning. So that's all I did for years. I was gone. And then when I never took a city job. I don't know. There's something about it I didn't like it. Well, one day I just got tired of this, and so I said, I'm not. I sold everything I had, and I said, I'm not going to take a job unless it's a good one. And my first job that I thought was a good job was working for Ryder Integrated Logistics, and they basically take a truck and a driver, me, and they lease me out to a company because that company doesn't want to hire anybody and pay their salary and buy the equipment. If they lease them from me, at that time there was a tax law made that anything you lease as a company is 100% tax deductible. So that's how made that company take off. So I worked for Zellerback for a few years, and then basically that's what I did. I had a route every day, the same route, delivering to the same people almost every day.
Now, was that before we had the trucking company?
This is way after all that. We lived in Hartford City at that time,
Okay.
or we was moving to Hartford City. And after a couple of years of doing that, I just kind of got, this ain't so bad. You kind of learn all the ins and outs, shortcuts to get to your next business, And then if you get ahead by 20 minutes or 30 minutes, you can park under a shade tree and take a smoke break, So it was okay. Well, then the guy that run the nighttime, I'll say road run, he got caught. He come to work drunk, and Scotty just didn't put up with that at all. He called Ryder right away, and Ryder sent a guy up there and took him out. And they come to me and they said, "Hey, you want to run that run for a while? Because you're the only one that's got the doubles and triples on your license." And I don't know, man. I'm kind of like in this city job where I'm home at a regular time. I just kind of like doing this, but well, you don't have to do it permanently. Just give us time to get somebody up here that we can train to do this. All right. So I did it. Well, after, it was just a regular run. I went from Hartford City to Cincinnati to Indianapolis, back up to Hartford City. Once in a great while, if they had a lot of freight, then I'd go from Hartford City to Indianapolis first. When they'd done that, I knew I was in for a long night. Then over to Cincinnati, back to Indianapolis, and then back to Hartford City. But point is, I was home every day, never worked a weekend, and I got paid very well. And so I was settling down to do that. And then one day, Zellerback sold their company to paper, international paper. And when they done that, they went and had their own drivers with Penske. I'm out. There's nothing they can do. I'm done. So with Ryder, they transferred me to Fort Wayne to pick up parts and deliver parts to Saturn car company that was in Tennessee. And so I had a run where I went from Fort Wayne down to the 16-mile marker on I-65, which is Memphis truck stop at that time, Memphis, Indiana. And then me and the guy from Saturn, which is in Tennessee, we swapped trailers. I gave him a loaded one, he gave me an empty one, back to our domiciles. I did that every night for a long time, and I was happy doing that. And I will say on that run, because the people at Saturn that were UAW, they said we could not haul UAW freight unless we joined the UAW. And they come and ask me about it. Why they're asking me, I don't know. But they come and ask me what I thought about it. And I said, do we get the same days off that they get and all this and that? Because I knew about the 10 days off with pay at Christmas time. He said, you'll get everything in their contract, but you're going to do what they call an abridged contract. I said, I don't know what all that means, and I don't care. But if I get the same days off as they do, I'm in. So we had a meeting. They made me the union steward. I didn't ask for this job. They said, would you do it? And I said, there's only like 12 of us up there. I said, yeah, okay, I don't care. So anyway, make a long story short, I done that until Saturn closed their doors. I'm out of a job again. I told Sue, I said, I'm sick of this. It seems like a good job lasts about 3 to 5 years. A company sell, they move, and you're out of a job again. So that's when I decided to go to work, and I went and I interviewed with 4 major companies in Indianapolis, the largest companies down there, and they were all nationwide. And I decided to go to work at Overnight Transportation because they had the best retirement of all of them, even the Teamsters. It was better than UPS's retirement. And then UPS bought Overnight. So I said, damn it, I can't get away. But they were Teamster, and I said, whatever. And the first thing they did is they chopped up our retirement, where we got just a regular Teamster pension, or the UPS pension. But Overnight's was better. Ask any old overnight driver, and they're going to tell you, our pension was probably the nation's best. Because not only do we have, see, UPS has got a 30 and out. Overnight had a 25 and out. But there was an age limit. You got to be at least 55 at 25 and out. Plus, they had a matching 401k, which is unheard of. If you got a pension, you don't get a matching 401k. Plus, once you retired, if you took a little bit less per month on your retirement pension, you got the medical insurance family plan for the rest of your life. UPS don't offer that.
Okay, you're way off topic, but
We're just out here talking. There's no topic.
okay.
You guys are talking about horror pictures.
Jerry's telling Jeremy, when we buy a place there, we'll give you a call. You do good work. Yes, he does good work. So if you need any closet stuff done, call Jeremy. Cabinets of any kind, actually.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff. I don't know everything he's doing now. I wanted to have some cabinets put in my kitchen, but the problem is the color of the wood to match the cabinets we have in there, it's not available anymore. And I just don't know if anything else would really match right. I'd still like to have some cabinets put in there, but I don't know.
Elizabeth Chamberlain says the International Spy Museum and Museum of Words
Don't touch it.
are two fantastic places to go in D.C. Yeah, if we ever go back to D.C., there's a lot more there that we didn't get to see, but I'm doubting we'll probably go that way anymore. But yeah, the International Spy Museum, that would have been cool.
Captain Kangaroo, Sherry, was my cup of tea when I was younger. Mr. Rogers is probably more him. I never watched Mr. Rogers.
Okay.
Closest thing to Mr. Rogers I watched was Saturday Night Live when the black guy, I can't think of his name, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and the guy was beating on the door, saying, "Hey, let me in. I want my rent."
And was it Eddie Murphy?
Eddie Murphy. "Hello, boys and girls."
Oh, my mother was right, says, "Hi, I'm new to your show. What advice do you have to prepare for retirement for those in their early 60s?
Advice for what?
Advice for people that are getting ready to retire for those in their early 60s.
Make sure you have enough money to last you to your early 70s. Yeah.
Pay things off.
Yeah, don't retire on today's money knowing, well, we can afford that. I see the price of this. That's what kills me about people. They want to know about price of things here. And that's all well and good. But if you're looking, oh yeah, I see what the taxes are. I see what the light bill is. I see how much the water bill is. And we get this much money. Yeah, we can afford it. But that stuff's all going to go up every year. The odds are your pension ain't going to go up that much. You have to stop and think, can you afford to be here 10 years from now? I've been here, this is our 10th year, and I've seen a huge difference in what we're paying now to what we were paying back then. House insurance is one. Car insurance is another. What else do I have around here? Oh, the games that they're playing now with, you got to get a new roof on in 10 years, you got to do this. I don't know how they get by with that, but they're doing it.
Yeah. But the main thing is, don't have a lot of debt. That'll be to your plus if you pay things off before you retire. And two, if one thing that we did find out, that we applied for a loan for something, and it was after he retired. After you retire, your amount of money that they think you're worth is not as much as if when you're working. So they take that into consideration. If you're not working anymore, the money they add up is a lot less than what it is if you were working. So, if you're going to buy a house, I would try to do it before you retire.
Yeah, if you have to finance a house down here, do it before you retire. Because once you retire and you want to finance a house, the truth is the banks down here, they don't care what you got in the bank. They don't care what kind of IRA you got either.
Unless you're going to pay it cash.
But if you're going to finance part of it, I would suggest buy it before you retire, because then legally you can put down your income you're making.
Yeah. And pay off those those little debts. If you got a new car, if you got two cars,
credit
like
card.
I said, credit cards. We've always had our own cars, but we don't need one down here. And like I said, it took me forever.
That was our first argument coming down here.
Yeah, that was our biggest argument, because I didn't want to be without a car.
I made the statement coming down here, we'd bring stuff down here, and she was in the van with me with Maggie. We come down here, and I said something about, before I go down there, I said, I'm going to sell that car up there in Brownsburg before we sell the house. She said, "You're not selling that car." I said, "I am too." She said, "You're not selling that car." She said, "You're not going to leave me without a car." So what do you think I'm going to do? She said, "Well, I want to keep my car." Well, we sold the car, and here we are 10 years later, and she'll tell you, we don't need the car.
No,
I have a golf cart that gets me wherever I need to go. She's got a car. We're fine.
Yeah. Now, depending on what you do, like I said, we don't do a lot of outside stuff. But yeah, we didn't need the second car. A lot of people still do because a lot of people still
shot.
work. But like I said, we didn't. So,
You know, the
let's see.
iPad in there next to your bed. I bet if you had that, you'd get shot.
Oh, and Vic wanted to know, is the Indiana kid getting hot in there? Yeah, probably, because that's been his biggest adjustment was the heat down here. But he likes it. It's sunshine every
You think
day.
it's hot down here? Really hot down here?
It's more humid than hot.
Yeah.
So humidity. Yeah.
But like, he's the one thing he said is, but it's always sunshine. He
Tammy
said, "Up
Gemma
there it's
says I
not."
have no debt. I was smart with my money. Well, you know, Tammy Gemma, I gave that advice once, and I got jumped all over with. So I said, you know, in retirement, what I've seen in myself, I'm just a blue collar worker. So is she. We're not rich at all. Never have been. Never will be. Well, unless we hit the lottery. But that's not going to happen. You know why? I don't play the lottery. So somebody said advice for retirement to come down there, and I said no debt. I said, it's not the income you have coming in every month that makes a difference. It's the difference is how much debt do you have. If you got $5,000 a month coming in and you virtually have very little or no debt, you're fine. You buy a little house down here that you can afford. I wouldn't buy $1 million house for that, but just if you can just stay mostly out of debt, I'll say 75% out of debt, you'll probably be fine.
William wants to know, when was the last time you were on an escalator?
Me?
Last escalator I was on, I would have to say was probably, and I'm just thinking real quick here, was when we were in Las Vegas.
Oh my.
God, that's been, I don't know how
For
long.
me, it was last week at the airport. But Jerry wants to know if you ride a bike.
Yeah, I do.
You do? Okay. Yeah, he rides a bike, Jerry. Let's see, Vic Madeira. MMWR, I'm not sure what that stands for. So don't wait any longer. Retire now, get physically fit so you can enjoy the time you have left. Yes, that's one thing.
That's true.
It's
There's a lot of things to take in consideration for retirement, that I can't remember everything. Sue can't remember everything. You have to think about yourself there once in a while. Can you stand the summer heat here? Have you ever been here in the summertime? Here's a kid. He don't get no better shape than what he is right now. As time goes on, he's going to get in worse shape. Right now, he feels as good in life as he's going to feel. And he'll tell you the same thing, humidity and heat here, right? But you don't think it's the heat right now so bad, it's just the humidity. Humidity.
because it gets in the 90s up there, yeah.
So if you're 70 years old and you've been a smoker your whole life, this could be a problem here.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you want to live here full time if you can't even go outside and breathe the air?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big concern. Medical is a big concern because there is so many people here. But that's something you want to think about. Get your medical in order before you move because sometimes that's very, very important.
Yeah, and be very careful picking doctors here. Don't pick a doctor because he's on your Medicare plan. I'm telling you, I went to a dentist because he was on my insurance plan, and I'm not putting the dentist down. I think there's just things I just didn't know. I think if I wanted to implant, yes, I'd go to this guy. Teeth cleaning's probably fine. All that's fine. But when it comes to root canals and stuff, I will never go to this guy again, ever. Mm-hmm. He's lost. And
Gracie says a lot of those old shows are on MeTV. Yeah, they are. I've seen a lot of them on MeTV, the old shows.
We don't have MeTV here.
We don't, but we used to have. And I've watched a lot of them.
Not here.
No, not here.
No, MeTV, I get in my RV all the time. Everywhere I go, there's a MeTV that I get on the antenna that's on the RV. It's like free TV. It's always MeTV, and there's another one that has a lot of Western stuff on it. And between them two, I'm good.
Yeah. Sailor Dude said, I just saved a lizard from my cat's mouth. He's in
You should be
Stonecrest.
talking to Rizzo. His dog down there killed one of those big ones.
It was a lizard.
No, the ones that fall out of a tree.
Iguana.
Iguana. His dog killed an iguana.
His dog is about the size of Buddy. It's a little bitty thing. But she
His
went
dog,
after
yeah,
him.
it's just a little shit, but this dog don't know how little it is. It'll tackle, it chases the UPS guy.
Yeah, and Vic says, yeah, he thinks Jeremy does good work. He does great work. He really does. Live Free or Die says, you guys are going to bore that kid to death. He doesn't need to be inside watching movies. Stay outside, enjoy the weather and nature. Well, we've done a little bit of both. Because there are days, when it's storming, there's not a whole lot to do.
Well, you
other
can't
than-
because if there's lightning within so many miles of here, the village just shuts things down.
Yeah.
They don't want you out there.
And we have, we went to the rec centers and stuff like that, and like I said, we did the camps and all that stuff's
Yeah,
inside.
but they'll shut the pools down if it's any lightning around.
Yeah.
I've even seen them shut rec centers down, and where you can't get in.
But I
So-
think, he's been here a couple of weeks. This makes the second week, and I think we've had a pretty good time, don't you?
Yeah, I think after this is over, we're going to go down to. Actually, what I think I'm going to do is take the golf cart, have him ride the golf cart with me, get gas while I'm down there, because they've got the golf cart gas.
Right.
And then we'll go over to Gators. You can take the car. The other day, she's going to go up and get the mail. I'm sitting here watching this. The other day, we come here because of golf cart accessibility to almost everything. We had 2 golf carts at one time. I got rid of one because she never drove it. And I said, she doesn't drive the golf cart because it messes up her hair. She don't like to go. She'll argue about it. She'll say I'm totally wrong. The other day, she says, I'm going to run down to the mailbox. Is there anything you want when I'm down there? I said, no, just get my, whatever it was I was looking for. She went to get my box, whatever it was. And then I thought, she said she liked the idea of living here because one was, I'm a walker. I can walk to the mailbox. I can walk there. I can walk to the pool. I can walk and get my stuff. She gets in the car and drove the car 4 blocks to the mailbox.
A little bit longer than that, but the
Yeah.
only reason I didn't walk is because I was bringing a package back. Otherwise, I'd
Took
have
the
walked
golf
it
cart?
back.
Never dawned on you?
Your toolbox was behind it. I couldn't move it.
No, not when you done that.
Yes, just
No,
it was.
no. Don't use that as an excuse. You're making stuff up now. No. My toolbox was up here by the bench.
Well, and we've took it ever since, other than when we were going outside.
You didn't take the golf cart anywhere but once. You took it to the swimming pool
Yeah.
on the other side of the neighborhood.
Okay, Tim and Jam says, thanks for the info. Planning on buying a new home and would love the closets done. Can't wait to visit on Sunday.
Well, I think right now the hot property is over there. What's the name of that area that they opened up? This Jerry was telling us about it.
Moultrie Creek. Moultrie Creek.
Moultrie Creek.
And they've opened Shady Brook.
And I don't know anything about
Yeah.
those areas, but Moultrie Creek, I do know for the longest time, people were always talking about, I can't wait till they open Moultrie Creek. I'm going to buy me a lot, going to buy me a lot. And I don't know if they still got any or not, because when they have a really hot area like that opens up, those lots could literally, every one of them could be gone in a day or 2.
And somebody on here said that actually in Moultrie Creek they were too close to the football stadium at Middleton. Now I don't know. I've not perused around Moultrie Creek to see where it's at, but some of you on here actually has said that. So make sure you take that in consideration if you don't like the noise and the lights and of the football games.
It ain't just football games.
Yeah.
They'll use the football field to have band practice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to live next to a school.
Yeah, and Janet Dewey says kids don't go outside anymore. Most of them don't. No, they sit around on their phones most of the time. Yeah, but Scooter does. He goes out a lot. But like I said, they live in a little
You
bitty
don't
town.
go out a lot at all.
Sometimes, not a lot.
But they live in a little town where they can do a little bit more than what they would in a big city. So
Yeah, where he lives out there in that little town, they still do things like the kids get together and ride their bicycles. They can still ride their bicycles downtown.
yeah,
There's one main road that goes through town, and they can actually ride their bicycles on that main road, but the local cop there is very strict about where that you ride your bike, and you can't be acting stupid, can you?
But they changed that. You can't ride on the road. They have like a sidewalk that they built. You have to ride on that sidewalk.
Next to the road? That's okay.
kind of like we do with their golf carts. Huh? Yeah. Let's see. Vic says, adorable puppy. Let me know if you ever need a puppy sitter. Oh, Vic, yeah, he's adorable, but he is still a puppy. And he says he does some things that just makes you want to pull your hair out. But yeah, he's a cutie. And I said he just turned 7 months old this month. So
How much does he weigh?
last time I weighed him, he was 9 pounds.
9 pounds. Sure it wasn't 19?
No, 9. But yeah, I'm hoping he doesn't get any bigger because it's all I can do to haul him around now.
Well,
So.
if he ain't got that much bigger by now, he's not going to get much bigger.
Well, I don't know how long they grow.
I think remember it was like after a year, that's it, they're done.
Well, he's not like quite a year yet, so I do need to get him fixed because that's become a problem.
He humps everything.
I've not had a boy dog in a century, so I didn't. I forgot about that kind of thing. But yeah, I took him to playtime at PetSmart, and
The only thing he doesn't hump so far is the air.
so far.
Sonny's a big dog.
But he's demanding. That's the problem with him. He's really demanding. If he wants to play, you're going to play. You may not know it yet. You're going to play. He's going to bring you stuff, and even with the ball in his mouth, he's going to sit there and bark at you and bark at you and bark at you. It muffles it, but and you throw that, he goes and gets it and brings it back, and he jumps up on his stool in here, and then he carries on. And then if Sue leaves, there's the part with me. If Sue leaves to go anywhere, even outside just to water the plants, this dog goes Rudy Kazootie. He whines and he howls like a Chambi Indian. He just howls and he'll come run over and he'll look at you and he'll howl some more and he runs over to the door.
Well, yeah. Like I said, he's sitting down here being very, very good right now.
That's why I wonder he's about doing it out here, because I figured he'd be a lot better here than we go out in the front. I don't know if you guys will hear him or not. He just carries on.
Yeah, he does. Sailor Dude says, I'm sorry it's called It Came from Outer Space. The remake John Carpenter film is called It and R-rated.
Oh.
Okay. I knew there was one. I didn't sure, but I seen It Came from Outer Space.
Why would it be R-rated?
It's a different...
There's different R's to me. Is it R's because of blood and guts? Scooter can do that, or is it R because of sex?
Well, I don't know. John Carpenter, I think, is probably the blood and guts. So, yeah, and Laura says MLS inventory of pre-owned homes is close to 500. Yeah. Oh, and Gracie said end of the baby boomers is 1964.
Okay. I didn't know that.
So if you were
Well,
born in
I was
1964.
52. You're 51. So I don't know where we're at now. 10 years will be 62, because we'll be 10 years this year. So we're close. About two more years. We'll be the end of the baby boomers. And
No, I think it's into the 30s at least, the 2030s.
we've been here 10 years. She was born in 62, and she says she's at the end of the baby boomers. Okay? That's 10 years more than me. So if you add 10 years to what she's saying, that means, I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay.
I've lost.
Yeah, it's close. And I wonder myself, I had that thought, when the end of the baby boomers come, will the housing here still be the same? I mean, will it keep its prices when everybody, because you know how things go in cycles, where, used to everybody come to Florida, they went to Boca, in those kind of areas, and then it wasn't fashionable to go to Florida anymore. And then it become fashionable again. And like in a place like this, they sell houses hand over fist. But you wonder if when the boomers are done, is this going to be someplace that the younger kids are going to want to come to?
Well, it could be that they got a 30-year plan down here, the Wildwood Commission, to where maybe a big section we don't even know about yet is going to be family friendly.
And this is
A
all
whole new side of the village, which is family friendly.
all
I
new.
mean, you got to wonder, why are they building all these schools and things inside of a retirement community that we're supposed to be? And this is like the second or third school they built here.
Yeah. Oh, and Gracie said, Elaine Scursy says, I was hooked on Dark Shadows with the vampire. Oh, yeah, I love that show. I really love that show. And the girl that played on that show, and it's weird to say this, but she had the prettiest mouth.
That's what he said.
But no, she did. She had lips they were an odd
Never
shape,
mind.
but it was so pretty. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah,
Ma'am?
baby boomers 46 to 64.
Ma'am, you sure do have a pretty mouth.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that, Dumby. But
Pardon me, miss. You look like a type of lady that would like a side of beef or a haunch of pork.
yeah, you look like a meat eater to me.
You look like a meat eater.
Yeah.
What movie is that from?
No clue.
Starman.
Tamma Jamma says she didn't know I was a baby boomer, born in 1960. Okay. And Sailor
Somebody
Dude,
on here, who was it? Oh, Elizabeth Chamberlain said she paid her house off before she retired. Been retired for 3 years without one and feeling fantastic. Yeah, being out of debt makes a huge difference. I think people, and I'm one of them, Well, I've always had a house mortgage, no matter where we lived. And so the idea of not having one just really never occurred to me until, you get close to retirement and then you get to thinking about it. Well, if I didn't have this, and I didn't have a car payment, and I didn't have to buy all this other crap, that's all money in the bank. So,
yeah. It is a big sense of relief if
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about that. I mean, you still got taxes every year, but
But if you're retired here, we have a thing called homestead. So, that helps on taxes. If you're over a certain age, they give you a discount. If you're military, they give you a discount.
disabled, you get a
Disabled
discount.
discount. So I don't know all the discounts they got, but take advantage of all of them.
Yeah. And Martin Dolan says, remember Get Smart? Yes, I remember Get Smart.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Just saying. He's
Yeah.
dead.
And who is he? Okay.
Don Adams.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. And Ron 5850 says anything Abbott and Costello, especially the Abbott and Costello show. Yeah, those are. And I was big on the Three Stooges. Yeah.
Laura says testing of heat and humidity is why I've visited the villages several times in the summer. She's right. We've always recommended that if you can afford it. And listen, if you can't afford, and I'm going to sound really rude right now, if you can't afford to come down here a couple of times a year to test it out before retirement, then you can't afford to buy a house here, because that's really bullshit money. You're going to spend say $1,000. You're going to spend $1,000 to come down here, rent a home for a week or 2 or 3 months if you can in the summer. I mean, the middle of summer, like right now. And then you should also come down sometime between, say, January and March. That's when snowbird season's really here. October, I know, October, November, and December are good months, but really January, February, March are the 3 snowbird months. And you should come down during one of them and spend some time here and then go to the squares like you normally would do, go to restaurants like you normally do, and you can really see and feel the difference.
Yeah. Kathy B in the 603 said, my favorite show was Family Affair. Uncle Bill, Mr. French, Buffy and Jody, yes. And Tammy says, my favorite TV Western was The Big Valley. Always liked to see Audrey's beautiful clothes. Yeah, they were decked out really, really good. Yeah.
I look at it going, now we're supposed to believe these people lived in a rugged West. There's no way. Look at, she's got makeup on. How do you wrestle cows with lipstick?
Well, and they never did that. They had sons that did that.
No.
Gracie said, when I was 5, my favorite shows were Our Miss Brooks, My Little Margie, Howdy Doody, and Captain Kangaroo.
Our Miss Brooks, I always had a lot. Matter of fact, the guy that played Gilligan, Bob Denver, was in Our Miss Brooks, right? No, not him. It was the other guy that played as Rambo's commanding officer. What was his name? Richard Crenna was in Our Miss Brooks as a kid. He talked like a girl, had a high-pitched voice.
Well, and she said she loved Clarabelle.
Clarabelle was Howdy Doody. And Cowboy Bob, was that his name? Cowboy Bob?
Cowboy Bob, yeah. And that's a Midwest
Do you know who
thing.
played Clarabelle during Howdy Doody? Does anybody know that? I know who it was.
Jerry's got a link there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the link doesn't tell you who played. It played the Captain Kangaroo, before he was Captain Kangaroo, played Clarabelle.
Vic says, okay, too much food talk, so I'm heading over to Brownwood. Y'all be good. Please go.
Yeah, we're going down there
go
after this is
smack
over.
that thumbs up.
I'm going to go down to Gators, I think, and get me a sandwich and maybe a Yingling beer. By the way, the rib place over there don't sell Yingling beer anymore. And when I asked why, she didn't know. I tell you, I know why. They're starting to sell territory here. Budweiser started that crap years ago, and I don't like it at all.
Yeah, and they don't have Coke. They have Pepsi.
Yeah, Pepsi and Coke does the same thing. Well, no, we kind of contract. We sell only Pepsi. You can't sell Coke here.
Yeah.
That's crap.
Yeah, and Jerry's got the link up for Jeremy. Fitted furniture. And Vic says, see you on the other side.
See you, man.
Yeah. Sherry Hall says, Captain Kangaroo and Mr. Rogers. Forgot about those.
Sherry says, I have a list of medical providers that I have accumulated from Nextdoor and Facebook chats. Will just depend on who takes the insurance. That's the thing, the so-called networking thing. I don't like that either. That's almost like communistic to me, that if you're not in our network, we can't take care of you. I know you're dying. I see you laying out there bleeding to death. Are you in our network? I don't know if I can lay hands on you or not.
Yeah.
This is crap. I don't like it at all. But it is what it is, I suppose. But just be careful on your doctors. Whatever specialities or whatever you need, you've had it long enough to where you kind of will know by talking to these doctors and stuff if it's going to be a good fit. And I can't even advise you on that because, hell, I thought I had a great dentist and he ended up making me almost kill myself. But, and the doctors I hear in the villages, I figured the village's health system would be probably about the best for me, the way I wanted to do it. And it's been okay. But when we first got here, they had a thing called the Marcus Welby plan program. And I'm not sure exactly how it all worked, but I do know that part of that plan was if he was bedridden, but yet you didn't need to go to the hospital, that with this plan, like one day a month or something like that, your doctor would come to your house and check you out. And that's the reason why I wanted to do it. And then all the doctors in the village's health system were golf cart right away. I didn't need a car. And then when you get here, you realize the realities are all these doctors that work for the village's health system, they're old. And they all come here to retire also. They sign a 1-year contract for whatever reason or a 2-year contract with the villages to work here. Next thing you know, they retire. You got to get another doctor. I've been here 10 years and I'm on my third or fourth. Third doctor. And I already know, she's already told me that when her contract runs out, she works full-time at the Orlando hospital somewhere. And I'm going to have to get another one.
Oh, and Tammy Jamie says, we are paying cash. I refuse to take out a loan at my age. Good deal. That's
Yep.
it. It'll make you feel better to know that house is taken care of.
And if you think about it, if you really, really think about it, you still have your cash. It's just here. Instead of being in a bank building somewhere, your cash is in your bank building. So anytime you sell the house or whatever, or if you wanted to borrow money, you can always get it. It's just right here.
Yeah, and Tammy Jamie says the interest rate on credit cards is outrageous. It is. Prices now are outrageous everywhere. I don't care what you're doing, interest rates for everything. It's just outrageous right now, but,
Tammy Jamie says, can you put antennas on your roof in the villages? You're not supposed to, but only thing I'm going to say is in different districts there are different rules. Always read your district rules for whatever district you're wanting to buy. If having an antenna on top of your house is, I'm not sure why do you say antenna? What's an antenna? We don't have antennas anymore. They have satellite dishes. I have seen a couple satellite dishes, even in my neighborhood, up on the roof of the house. I personally would not do that, not because of the district rules. You fasten anything to the roof of your house with a screw and a bolt or whatever, it's just a matter of time. You're going to have a leak and you're going to have some rotten wood up there. It's just a matter of time. You cannot stop it.
yeah.
Have them put a pole in the yard and fasten that satellite on that metal pole next to your house in the yard. It'll work. But yeah, we have satellite dishes here. But now, when you start getting into the newer neighborhoods, they have their own district rules. So just double check them.
Okay, and Sherry Hall says, I have a list of medical providers that I've accumulated from Nextdoor and Facebook chats.
Before I read that.
Will just depend on who takes the insurance that I'll have when we get down there. Yeah, that's one of the things, the village insurance is an Advantage plan only,
No.
other than
They take
military.
they take TRICARE and they take Florida Blue now.
But it's an Advantage plan.
I didn't think Florida Blue was an Advantage.
That's the only one they'll take is Florida Blue Advantage, because I've got Florida Blue, but I don't have
TRICARE's
Advantage.
not Advantage.
No, they do take military. But like I said, other than that, it's an Advantage plan. And I said, if I've got regular insurance, a supplemental, and my Medicare. Skip has the Advantage plan. So I have not had a problem finding a doctor down here, even though I'm not in the village's plan. But that's something that you have to think about. Yeah, and I said, you check all these, the Facebook and all those programs that you got people talking about their doctor this and their doctor that. And
Tammy Jamie says that she's looking at Moultrie Creek and Shady Brook, and she says there's still a lot of lots to sell yet.
Yeah,
Moultrie,
there is.
at Moultrie Creek, because I thought somebody told me that over half of them, the very first day they opened them up, they were gone. I don't know. I don't pay attention to it, but that's just what I was told.
Oh, and Dabney and Monte Creek, they've been they've had those in the paper a lot. In the Dabney area, they've had some discounts. So yeah, they're trying to sell that area out, and they're going on to Shady Brook, I think. And the golf course opened down there. So that's right there next to Shady Brook. So
Yeah, the lots that disappear first, which is probably just common sense to think about it, is the ones that's got a view, mostly a pond or a lake or whatever. Those are going to disappear right off the get-go.
Right.
The next ones are going to be the ones that line a golf course, where you can sit in your lanai and look out and watch them play golf. There's some problems with that. But those will be the next ones that will disappear. And 10 years from now, those will be the lots that's increased in value more than any home in that area.
Yeah. And Saturday says, is that an old school soda in a glass bottle? It's actually Coca-Cola. You can get them at Sam's Club, and it comes from Mexico. But it's still got that Coca-Cola taste.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
Yeah. And now, he's always said that it tastes different in a bottle.
It does.
Couldn't prove it by me, but
It
yeah.
does. Here's what I think is a big waste. We throw these bottles in the trash. There's no recycling. We used to recycle. They don't recycle anymore. I don't get it.
Yeah, and Jerry says Well Point will be open soon. Yes, they're on target to open Well Point soon.
Is that going to be a good one?
It is, and I said there's several people that's actually on here listening that are waiting for Well Point.
Oh.
That area. I'm not familiar with that area very much.
What makes Well Point good?
And I said I'm not that familiar with that area, so I
Is
don't
it
know.
close to Eastport?
I think it probably is.
Is it along a golf course?
I said I don't know.
Is it walking distance to a bar?
I don't know. Tammy Jam says I'm meeting with Kevin Jacks. He called me this morning. Well, Kevin will give you the lowdown. They just got here full time just a short while ago, and I said they love this place. So I said he will give you the lowdown everything. Sale dude says they have an 8-pound cat. Well, Buddy's enough for me. I don't want any cats. The only cats we ever have is outside.
Says my smallest cat is the meanest. That's kind of like Rizzo's dog. They ain't very big.
Yeah. And he is a great dog. Yeah.
Yeah, but he'll tackle anything.
Yeah.
My dad had a dog. He was a little Yorkshire. And, he was just a little guy. And his name was Rambo when he first got it.
He's only about this
Yeah,
big.
and I asked Dad, I said, Rambo? I said, boy, that name doesn't fit him, does it? And then I realized it's his attitude. This dog didn't take crap from anybody. Or
It was a little Yorkie, but you never know. He went after the big dogs. And Buddy does the same thing. And Williams has put some of that Coca-Cola over a glass of vanilla ice cream. He does that a lot, William.
What?
Putting the Coke over ice cream.
I do.
Yeah, he does that a lot. And
I put icing on peach cobbler yesterday. Sue made some peach cobbler.
yeah,
So I warmed it up in the microwave. He's never had it warmed up. Put ice cream on it. He's never had ice cream on a peach cobbler. He wouldn't eat it the other day. I said, "You want any ice cream?" He said, "No." So he doesn't know what he's missing.
yeah.
I say he's one of these kids that grows up. If it doesn't come from McDonald's, he doesn't know what it is.
No, I'm sure Grandma Mary probably cooked some pretty good meals.
You ever had peach cobbler?
Yeah, I have.
Have you? Where?
Mom made it. Okay, buddy.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Kathy B in the 603 says some of the patio villas I looked at in Moultrie Creek weren't far from the high school. Yeah, that's what we said. That area down there, it's a nice area, but it is close to the high school, and you get the football games, the band practice, and the Klieg lights. If you've ever been around where the lights were on, that's those are really bright lights. And I said, depending on how far away you are, it might not be a problem. Tricia Ness says, I visited the Street of Dreams, which I think is in Moultrie Creek, and I could see the football stadium. Yeah, that's something you need to think about.
Well, but some people don't care.
Well, yeah.
They like listening to that kind of stuff, and that's fine. Just like Skirvin. Skirvin asked me once, he says, do they have any neighborhood that's right next to a railroad track? I said, oh, no. I said, if they did, nobody would buy it. He said, I would. He said, I'd love to have a house right next to a railroad track.
Yeah. Ann says, my 14-year-old sister has been sleeping for the whole show. Your little one will get better with time. We can only hope. He does sleep a lot, though. When he does sleep, he sleeps for a long time, usually all afternoon. Usually he sleeps through this show. But he knows that Scooter's here. So, he's been pretty much staying awake during the day because of Dalton being here. So, and they've had a good time. Laura says, well, Gen X 1965 to 1980 want to move to the villages. Well, that's what I wonder about. When the baby boomers are over, is the next bunch of people going to be that enamored about a retirement place? They're doing different things with retirement now. When they first started making retirement villages, it was kind of unique. It was something
That's
different.
how you kill rabbits.
I know, unique up on them. But it was kind of something different. So, next time around, they may have something totally different. It might not be a retirement village, and it might be I don't know. Like I said, something totally different. So you just never know. Time will tell.
We won't be here.
Yeah, we won't be here. And Sailor Dude says if Gen X can afford it, they will. Well, yeah, William says 1963 here. Monday, I'll hit 61. Well, happy birthday, William. I wish I was 61 again. Yes, Tammy says Sue was that Laura Parker on Dark Shadows. She was from Memphis, Tennessee. Yes, it was her. And I said I thought she was just the prettiest lady, really. And to be on a show like that, anyhow. Yeah, Sherry Hoss is 1963 here too. Well, you all are youngsters.
Timmy Jim says she's staying at the Waterfront Inn. That's a pretty neat hotel.
Sunday through Thursday. So
Especially
couldn't get a lifestyle visit, yeah.
Well, especially outside. We went to a wedding over there, or a wedding, what do you call it? Where you go after a wedding and have drinks. Whatever you call it.
Reception.
Yeah, reception over there.
Yeah, and yeah, my friend Deb, she got married and had a reception there at. Well, no, she had hers at the Waterfront Inn.
That's
She's
what I just
talking about-
said. She said she's staying at the Waterfront
Oh,
Inn.
okay. Yeah, and then I said that's a nice place because it's right there in town. You can walk.
You can walk there.
You know,
like
the
Sumter.
waterfront it's just gorgeous from the hotel. It really is.
And if you want to have a little fun, walk down to the Village's golf cart store down there, and you can rent a golf cart for the day if you want.
Yeah,
Take it out. Get lost.
yeah. Oh well, yeah. Sailor Dude says she loved Barbara Stanwyck. I did too. You know, she was one of those ladies that spoke her mind, and you didn't see that on TV back then. And Phil Beard says Bob Keeshan. Yeah, that was Captain Kangaroo.
Yep, Bob Keeshan, that's
Yeah,
her name.
Bob was a
Mr. Green Jeans, I don't know what his name was.
Bob was a World War II veteran. Great guy. That was my mornings as a kid at the table. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Uncle Phil. Didn't know you was still here. Laura says, if Mark Ryan from Iowa was on here, did you watch Dr. Max after school? It was on TV station from Cedar Rapids. I remember seeing that, but I wasn't around Cedar Rapids either. SCTV did Captain Combat with Mr. Green Fatigues.
Yeah, I remember watching it.
It's hilarious. They killed Bunny. It's on
That's-
YouTube.
That's Second City. Where
SCTV Captain
Yeah,
Combat.
they were playing in a sandbox and
I
having
didn't see
war
that.
battles and stuff. And yeah, that's where a lot of the guys got their start. I know
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy was on there, Second City. Who played Uncle Buck?
John Candy.
John Candy got his start there. And who's that tall, skinny guy that's crazy nuts, and he does all kinds of movies? Alrighty now.
Oh, yeah. Jim
Carrey.
Carrey.
He got his start there.
Yeah. Vicki Jones says, can't wait to get back down first week of August. Well, come on down, Vicki. First week of August might not be quite as hot, but it's still going to be hot.
It's gonna be hot.
But you'll get the sunshine. And that's what Scooter likes, is he likes the sunshine.
Yeah.
Kathy B in 603, my husband was a big fan of Hogan's Heroes and F Troop. Yep. Those were big in our house. And Tama Jamma says, yes, you can. The OTARD law says yes.
OTARD. I don't even know what that is. OTARD.
Yeah, Sailor Dude says they have flagpole antennas, probably big bucks. Yeah, and I said we don't bother with that. We stream everything here, and that's enough for us, really. I remember up north we had Dish, and we like Dish.
Well, if she's talking about having an antenna on top of your house, that OTARD law doesn't say that. They've had that problem here. OTARD says you have a right to have maybe the antenna, but the village's district rules governs what goes on here. They can have a rule saying you cannot put it on your structure. You have to put it here or put it here, and where it can be located in your property.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the problem with the district rules are. People don't understand it, or they've changed it. They tweak them all the time.
And they are putting them on flagpoles.
And we had a problem when we moved here. Somebody here, and I don't know who, we were having all kinds of problems as far as Wi-Fi and stuff goes. And the guy come in here, he'd done some tests, and he said it's a ham radio operator causing all this problem here. He said, we got to find out where it's coming from. I said, a ham radio operator? I said, I know what that is. I don't see where that would bother me. He said, well, it's the way they hook it up. He said it's probably got in somebody's flagpole. I had no idea. He left the neighborhood and went around. Somebody in the back here, whoever, at that time there wasn't very many people living here at all. So I don't know who it was. He came back and he said, well, we found it. He said it was in a flagpole. We told them that they'd have to remove it and do whatever else with it. And ever since they've done that, we haven't had too much problem.
Yeah.
So, just district rules. That's the thing. Read them.
And William wants to know, can you attach lightning rods and thunder mufflers to your home in the villages?
Yeah, you can put lightning rods on your home. They got a company.
And they do have seminars here about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of choice. I always say whatever makes you sleep well at night. If you sleep well at night, having lightning rods, do it. You're not going to see me put them on here, and I go back to as a kid as to why. I've told the story of why I won't do it. I might regret that someday. I don't know, because some of these lightning storms down here ain't like they was in Indiana. Yeah. These are weird. You know, lightning in Indiana at night, you go out and it would finger out. It lightning and you just kind of crackle across the sky. You don't get that here. What you get here is this. 5 of them coming straight down to the ground all the time, and that's different.
James Carl says, my in-laws headed back to the villages today from PA. Had a nice visit and got my father-in-law hooked on Skip and Sue while visiting here in PA. Well, thank you, James. we're glad to have new people. Now, and I said, if they're coming back to the villages and they probably felt like they were way too long away from home.
2 o'clock.
Yeah, so it's 2 o'clock, so we're going to have to wrap this up, guys.
We got to go to Gators and get something to eat.
Yeah, we're going to go get something
Look at
to
him,
eat.
he's starving. He can't hunt.
Yeah.
Why didn't you turn it on?
There's a password. I was trying to ask.
And Jerry Bell says, what does Scooter want to do before he leaves? What's the one thing
He
you want
wants to go to Gators and get a sandwich.
Is there anything you want to do that we haven't done?
Boat ride.
Boat ride? Oh, okay. Yeah,
Well,
I haven't done a boat ride.
There's
so.
only 16% in there, so we forget it.
Yeah, well,
Dude,
hi,
need to
Mr.
charge
Rizzo. We missed you. He said he's late. But we're going to have to
push
go,
it.
so
And you hold it. You hold it
we're going to have fun with Scooter.
and slide it.
And y'all take care.
Oh, I got to turn this thing off.
Drink lots of water. Stay out of the sun. Have a good time. See you on the other side.
Thanks, moderators.